Ladies and gentlemen, I've been trawling through the gutter of wrestling this weekend, and look what I found to join me on the Wrestle Plug. It's a pair of delinquents from separate areas, currently presiding in his bunker in his penthouse suite of London. It is, of course, the Hitman, Gabe Myers.
Peace. Hope everyone's good and well.
And, of course, living in the retirement home of Kent. That is, well, I won't give your obvious address away, but Mr. Queen Anton Green has joined us as well. And of course, combined, they are the business. Welcome back to the Wrestle Plug, sir.
Thank you. Good to be back.
It is indeed a pleasure to have the business. Of course, I'm the delinquent shithouse of Egypt that is Aeron. You all know me, so let's move away from that and move on to something that apparently is equally shithousery worthy. WWE Fast Lane was this weekend. Luckily for you guys, I didn't watch it, so my opinions of this will be based solely on what I hear from Gabe and Anton. 5 matches, which means that it must have been a very svelte pay-per-view. Did it finish nice and early, or did this thing drag on forever?
Boy, for me, I'll be honest, it felt long. It felt exhausting. And for me, especially for a B, as I want to call it, a B pay-per-view, it just felt like it. I won't say it felt predictable, but predictable. It was predictable. Like I say, sorry to burst your bubble, but Seth, I was thinking Nakamura was going to basically beat the hell out of him, but unfortunately, no. Seth retained the title as usual.
Yeah, no, I've got the results.
Okay.
So, yeah, apparently Seth Rollins successfully defended the World Heavyweight Championship against Shinsuke Nakamura, or just Big Naka, as I like to call him, in just under half an hour. Was actually good, gentlemen.
Anton?
It's the usual thing for me. I mean, fundamentally, I'm sure it was good. That's the one sort of match that to me just felt like I just struggled to really get invested. I watched it and it's like
I was bored
watching along for the ride. You wait for it to finish. Like
it
did. Yeah, you said it half an hour as well. I mean, it felt like half an hour. It felt like it went long. And they were doing all the spot. It just didn't feel to me. It just didn't feel like any life to it in a way. And I think that's the big problem with those matches for Seth.
Seth's no good.
Just doesn't connect for me.
Yeah, Seth's no good. I'm sorry. People can say he's the modern day Shawn Michaels mate. We all lived through the original Shawn Michaels, and from what I can remember, Shawn Michaels wasn't that boring. Yes, for me it's a bit cheesy, all the Chippendale stuff. But as a worker, I'm a Brett guy. But I had to admit and say, yeah, shit.
That's the rivalry there. Look, I'm a Brett guy. Shit Michaels.
No. I was gonna say because I don't swear, so I was like, I don't swear. But yeah, Shawn. At least I could say Shawn was good. For some reason, with Seth Rollins, I don't know what it is. I just can't seem to get into.
But he is good. That's the thing.
He's good, but
it's just I just I don't know if it's like the performances just don't feel.
He's boring.
And the crowd. I feel like the crowd aren't really feel like for the level that they give him, like making him the main event. It's like to me, you'd already seen the best of the more exciting. You'd seen LA Knight, John Cena, Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso, and now Seth Rollins is beginning the top billing, but it's like it don't feel like the top billing.
Is it top billing
though? On that card, in the sense that he's the main event, he's the last one for the title.
That's the thing. It's almost like the Raw main event in Fast Lane. That's what it looks like to me. Like Shinsuke Nakamura, I have said for the better part of 5 years, is not a main event wrestler. And people get fucking pissy about that because you had this match in New Japan that went 48 minutes. Nobody cares. Nobody in North America gives a shit. They don't. We do not give a shit about Japanese wrestling in the Western Hemisphere, because if we did, all these New Japan Strong shows now would have like fucking 20,000 people at them, wouldn't they? Not fucking 800, whatever it is. Nobody's saying they can't wrestle, but when you're on mainstream TV in the Western world, it's not about how well you can wrestle as much anymore. It's about how well you entertain. Whether you like it or not, this is an entertainment product, and Nakamura can't entertain because he can't cut a promo because for some reason they display him as this hilarious racist Japanese salesman. Like when they tried the whole thing with me not speaking the English, like really? No, that's what you got for it. That's what creative had for it. It's just sitcom funny Asian guy at best.
I thought he was a schizo Michael Jackson. I thought that's what he was at one point.
Well, again, that doesn't translate either, does it? Like,
no.
He's so flamboyant. No, he isn't. He just wears leather and wants to be Eddie Murphy from Raw. That's all that is.
That's true.
Yeah.
But you have to remember, we know Raw. Us three, we actually know Raw. Back, most of the fans were like, "What's Raw? Is Raw WWE?" Like, no, Raw was a completely different entity. Eddie Murphy. So to them, it's new. To them, a lot of them, it's all new. So
he's boring. He hasn't got any persona, and also all the stuff he does in the ring is actually quite clunky and not very good looking. I don't like his style of wrestling, and he was found out when he wrestled AJ Styles at WrestleMania, and nobody gave a shit. If nobody cares about you wrestling AJ Styles at WrestleMania, that's a problem. That whole feud was built around them kicking each other in the dick.
Well, you have to remember, again, even though I'm not an advocate of this guy, apparently Dave Meltzer said that at the time WWE didn't basically build it as New. Again, I don't watch New Japan, so I don't know, but you know better than me. They didn't build it as what New Japan would in terms of the storyline and stuff like that.
But
so
there's
that's
a
why.
reason for that, because if they did, no one would watch it. Because New
That's true.
Japan doesn't really have storylines.
No, I didn't think they did.
No, nor when Dave Meltzer said they didn't build it like New Japan. What build? Like, there is no build at New Japan. It is literally just like, here's a show with some really, really, really good wrestling. If you want to watch, like, you know, just like as if you're watching MMA, you tune in and just watch a load of fighters kick the shit out of each other. New Japan's great. It's so much better than WWE. They kick harder, they fight harder. You know, if you just want good physical wrestling and you don't care about, you know, all the sort of accoutrements that come with the, you know, glitz and glamour of Northern American wrestling, then yeah, that's definitely your jam. But the problem is that's extremely niche in a market where people are trying to entertain people on a TV format. Same with do you feel like Seth Rollins is getting the John Cena effect? About 10 years into John Cena, I was like, this is the same thing all the time. And I kind of feel like Seth Rollins has gone down that route a little bit, where it's just like every week, same kind of promo, doesn't really differentiate much, doesn't really show he doesn't have like different levels to his emotion, the way he speaks. It's always, it's you know, great. What else have you got other than rather fruity suits that you buy?
I think that's a lot of like, it's that. That's almost like been shortcutted to make like, oh, he's so like, people love him that he's so over because of
he's so flamboyant. He wears a colourful suit.
Yeah, and I think
that's flamboyant.
I think that's what's got him that like, it's made it, people think that I can get such a big reaction for that. Oh, as if that's why he should be the world champion and that's why we need to put him in the top spot. And it's like, you shouldn't. I 100%. I think like I was watching the match with Shinsuke Nakamura, and I was watching it, and I was thinking like, and I was watching it with Kirsten. She was saying like, she's watching it, she's not really. She was watching it, thinking it's just there, like there's just nothing really bringing you in. Yeah, and I was saying like, if you compare, I know it's Brock Lesnar, but you compare like Cody Rhodes when he wrestled Brock Lesnar, and that weren't a last man standing, but it had a similar element where he kept knocking him out of the ring, and he's come back in. There was drama to it. The crowd were into it. Cody was telling that story, like trying to like fight back. It was a similar story in that like Seth is at disadvantage because of his back and all these weapons being used on him, and they've got to keep him down. But it's like the contrast there is like, that tells a story, and you invest, like, and you really feel the story, you feel the drama, you feel Cody's performance is charismatic. It makes you care about his moves and stuff. Like Seth's doing all the right moves, but it's just going through it, almost like going through the motions of a match. And it's like, that's how it felt for me. It's like you were watching it thinking, you just want it to be over. Like, it's just nothing exciting about it. And they were doing all stuff, kendo stick shots, tables, like crashing through tables, using chairs. But it's like, yeah, okay. It just felt like that. Yeah, exactly. That's how it felt for me.
Do you know what it is? It feels like, I mean, I didn't watch the match. I'm sure the match was fine, but it's that thing of, this feels like a match that's been, Roman Reigns isn't going to be on this show. We don't have a lot of our big entertainment players. So, like Lesnar's not there at the moment. So what we'll do is we'll give the Smarks what they want. The 20,000 hardcore fans that go on, like, that's the match for them. They all want to see Nakamura versus Rollins. Oh, two great workers. Yeah, what do you fucking do, Basil? Nobody, you know what? I love great wrestling, but I don't want to watch good workers all the time just having good matches in WWE, because if they haven't got any substance, they haven't got any character. That's why Kevin Owens is so over, because he can do both.
Yeah, and I think you need the spark for the main event, and that's why I think like he's not. I don't think he's the wrestler for the top spot.
Nakamura does not sell tickets.
No, nor Seth though. But that's the thing. I feel like Seth, like they've consistently felt like, give him this. Like there was the first time when he was the corporate champion or the authority champion, which is probably the best for him. Yeah. But then there was that time when he was beating Brock Lesnar back to back. He was the Slayer, the Beast Slayer. Got behind him, and then people just like crapped on him.
Don't forget we beat Triple H at WrestleMania 35.
Yeah, it's like they've had these periods where they think, oh, he can be the main guy, like the top guy, the workhorse, this stuff. And it's like, and once they give him that spot, it just drags and people don't really get with it. Then they drop it. Then he gets the new, like he's got the, something. Oh, they love him again. Let's give him the belt again. Let's make him the top star again. But it's like, to me, he doesn't have the same spark.
Wrestler.
Yeah, but it's like you don't put the belt on the song. The act is over, but he shouldn't be the champion. Like, to me, there's so many more characters. Like, I feel like when you've got LA Knight at the moment, like, really get that guy over to Raw, give him the title, put him in there. Like, there's somebody that's so much more, would give you that much more spark in the main event. And he's sitting like, obviously you've got Cody. We'd imagine Cody and Roman, so that's sort of spoken for. But you've got that other title over there. Put it on somebody who really would.
Damian Priest, Mr. Money.
Damian Priest, give him that, and then LA Knight chase that.
I've watched mainstream wrestling since Jimmy turned on Jay. I haven't watched anything, and like, because first of all, I don't have time. Second of all, I just don't want to. I'm just not that interested, really, if I'm being honest. So I just look at the results of things, and I didn't know whether Damian Priest had maybe forgotten about it or he cashed in and not been.
No, they've been sort of. He was going to cash in because they lost the tag team belts, and there was a backstage segment where it was. What's that? Yeah, well, you said you got the results.
Yeah.
They said that at the end of the.
I love. By the way, we're about to talk about that, but I love the fact that both of the mainstream Western wrestling companies, the biggest in the world, they both put their tag belts on singles wrestlers. Good shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But at least WWE had the foresight to put it on guys who still have a little bit of star power, as opposed to Big Bill.
Edgest and Fake Rock.
It's fucking the state of it, honestly. Ricky Starks, I refuse to slag off because he's got a fucking mega star power, in my opinion. He's just not in the right company for it at the moment.
Don't worry. Cody will shoehorn him in somehow. You can see already with Jade going there. Apparently, they're saying that Wardlow, even though he signed his new contract, apparently he'll be there in a year or so. But
we shall see. But yeah, Seth Rollins retains. Shock. John Cena and LA Knight defeated the Bloodline. I bet that was an over tag team, wasn't
it? For me, like I said, I'm not too, again, Anton knows already, I'm not too big on John Cena after we did the Big Show all them years ago.
Long-standing grudges.
Oh yeah. But it's that thing where LA Knight for me is good. But my only thing with him is that if they give us LA Knight, I feel the fans are going to crap on him. I don't know what it is about him. I feel like if they, it's okay, fine, but have him, he's yours. They're going to crap on him. Like, you know what, just keep him as he is for now. But I'm not saying it doesn't mean anything for Cena to put him over, but it's like, because Cena's basically already said already, he's a movie star. I mean, we know already, he's a movie star. Yeah, he loves wrestling, but he's really said already, he plans to move away from wrestling.
You don't think it's that big a deal having John Cena put LA Knight over?
It sounds bad. If it was like a couple of years ago, I would say yeah. Now it's like,
I think it would be bigger, but I still think it. I mean, the thing is, it's a blessing that he's been able to sort of like come back because it's unplanned, wasn't it? Because the strikes in America. Right. Yeah, so it's like he's been able to come back unplanned, and it seems like that's his project. Is like, let's shine some extra spotlight on LA Knight. I agree. It'd be bigger when he was a more prominent member of it, and when he had more. But I still think it still does, and you could see in that match, he basically like that. You could tell that everything was geared to like the spotlight is on LA Knight because he didn't get the tag for ages. They had John Cena just taking the beat down for ages, and it's like you'd think that'd be reserved for John Cena as like the hot tag and to be the one that you're dying to see get involved in the match. They kept LA Knight out for the whole match until towards the end. Then he got the hot tag and he come in, and it was like just like everything was pointed to say, and he got the pinfall as well. Just like everything is to say, like even though he's in the ring with John Cena, it's like it's all about LA Knight. So that was quite an endorsement there, I think. Like,
I'm assuming Jimmy is the one who took the pinfall.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
The Solo Sikoa is like being fast tracked, and rightfully so, in my opinion. I feel like he's got massive potential, or at least he did when I last saw him. I mean, even the build to it, because if you said you haven't been watching them, but like the SmackDowns just before when he saved John Cena, stuff like that, it's like even that was a big moment saved for him. Like where he come out a shock like save. So I do feel like it has been beneficial for them to have John Cena, and it's like
it really does feel like they've decided to get behind LA Knight, and you feel like he's been endorsed, which, like Gabe said, it could end up being the backlash because now the company has decided
that's what I'm saying
for him, and now people won't like it. But yeah, and then they'll start using the Stone Cold Rock ripoff thing for him. But you can't win. You can't win.
Coming, mate. It's coming already.
I can smell it. Io Sky defended the WWE Women's Championship against Asuka and Charlotte Flair. What was that noise? What's your problem with women's wrestling? Surely.
It's not again. You know, I do it because I know it knows me with it. I do it because I know it knows
All three of these women are amazing. This must have been good, surely.
Anton. Come on, Anton. Talk. Be the politician. Then talk about.
Come on, I'm asking for coverage here, boys. You've seen it. I haven't. Was it?
No, this was Gabe's favorite match of the show.
I'll be honest. All I watched for this one was literally like the ending. I mean, I didn't watch all this.
I didn't watch this one top to bottom. I'll hold my hands up as well.
I would lie and say I did, but I didn't.
Really, you had more interest in seeing Los Boricua versus fucking the Black Patrol, did you? Like, fucking useless. Like, come on, boys. Absolutely. I'll tell you what, I'll watch it back and I'll let you guys know next week.
Yeah, you give us your feedback.
Yeah, seeing as I'm the only one who respects women around here. 6-man tag team match. I see that Carlito made a return and joined the Latino World Order, and they beat up Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. If that doesn't scream, we don't fucking give a shit about fucking Bobby Lashley and Street Profits. That's right there. Like, really? Like, an old Mexican dude or Puerto Rican dude.
He's huge. He's massive.
He's huge in Puerto Rico. He's not fucking huge.
No, you mean size?
Size-wise.
He's like jacked again.
Yeah, he's jacked.
Someone's been off the juice, so we'll have to see it.
MJF.
Any good?
For me, you know what? I think because Carlito came back and everything, I was like, okay, yeah. But I kind of felt more for Bobby Lashley's team, but is it Montez Ford?
Montez Ford, yeah. He's mega star, in my opinion.
I reckon what they're going to do is get rid of him. And apparently there's some guy from NXT, so again, another black wrestler from NXT.
Get rid of Montez Ford. What? Because he's not good enough, or because he should be on his own?
Basically, because he should be on his own. And I think they're going to bring some black guy from NXT, bring him up, put him in the group, and let Lashley kind of mold these two guys.
Black guy interchangeable, or are you just?
Oh no! Again, I'll be honest. It's the name that she skips my because I don't
remember. You're the only one here with an N-word pass. Like, the rest of us don't have $100 million available. So.
I don't even use the N-word, people. I don't even use it myself. I don't even use it myself. But
I'm here. He used it at Wembley. That's what I.
Did I, Anton? I don't know. I don't think I did.
Like how you had to check with your PA.
I didn't. I know I didn't.
Yo, Anton was on racist. yo, I forgot.
The thing is, I think from what I can kind of see from the group, they're basically pushing Montez Ford. You can clearly see, he's the guy to kind of go out.
He's got star power potential, in my opinion. No.
Really? Again, sell me this guy. Sell me what's the step?
Have you seen? He can cut an amazing promo, in my opinion. Like, to be fair, the problem with that is you don't get to see it much because it's all been tag team stuff. But when so I don't know if you saw it, but a few months back they trialed it for one night only. They had the Street Profits drawing back and forth with the Usos, and Roman Reigns was like, "I'm going to shut one of you bitches up." So Montez Ford was like, "Yo, I'll take you on." So Montez Ford actually wrestled Roman Reigns in the main event of SmackDown, and it was fucking, and the crowd were like going ballistic for it. And it was just a very small sample size, but it was that thing of like, and it's a shame because Angelo Dawkins lost a lot of weight, got so much better as a wrestler, and now will probably just get shit canned and then end up just probably getting released and end up on AEW Collision in about 3 years' time, and nobody gives a fuck because Montez Ford will go on to be a solo star. Shredded, lovely guy, great looking guy, well spoken, funny. Like, he's got all the things that you would expect to be a company man as well. The only problem is he's black, and like, with all due respect, Vince McMahon doesn't like pushing black guys that much.
TKO now, remember TKO? They own by TKO now, so.
But he's still CEO, isn't he? He's still CEO, and I doubt TKO are just going to come steamroller in and go, "That guy looks like John's Bones Jones. Let's put him over." Like, and that's. I don't know. It's that thing. People are sitting there going, "Oh, that's a weird thing to say." I absolutely want Montez Ford to be a future champion, but I don't trust WWE to manage black wrestlers well. Yeah, okay. Big E, Kofi Kingston won it, right? Can anyone tell me a memorable title retain in that run?
None.
All we remember is him winning at Mania and then getting jobbed out by Lesnar in like 10 seconds on SmackDown. That's it. That's all you remember from that. Big E, very entertaining, but for me, actually, like not a very successful WWE champion.
Nope.
Although to his credit, at least he has very credible wins on that. He beat like a lot of mainstream guys in that title run. And then, you know, who else have we got? There's not many else, are there? Bobby Lashley just felt more like a vehicle to get Drew and Lesnar over. So it's that thing of when you actually make a black talent extremely prominent and actually give them star-worthy storylines every single month, then I will take it more seriously and you're booking more seriously. And there's no reason I can't with someone like Montez Ford down the line. But I do not give a shit about this tag team match. It absolutely smacked of 97 when they did the gang warfare stuff. You know?
Yeah.
Well, the thing is as well, they didn't bring Carlito out until the end. Like that was a surprise thing. Like I figured it was going to be him because I was thinking, like when Rey Mysterio said he's going to make a call.
Does he just come down near the end then to help them?
Yeah. So basically, they taken out like the other two members of the LWO on SmackDown, and it was supposed to be it's going to be Escobar and Mysterio
until right at the end.
Yeah. So and Rey Mysterio had said like I'm going to make a call, and I figured like the only person you could really think because he appeared this year it'd probably be Carlito, but they didn't come out. They just came out the two of them. They wrestled the match, and then towards the end, all of a sudden and it wasn't even the traditional. Carlito music. It wasn't even the spit in the face that people don't want to be cool.
Oh, really?
It didn't even use that. No. And then he just come running down. And he got.
Would have been cooler if Bad Bunny had come out, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that could have been.
Say what you like. Cool. Tell me someone who got a bigger pop in Puerto Rico than him. Right. Fuck
Savio Vega.
Selena Vega.
I mean, to be fair, Savio Vega is like the king of Puerto Rico. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now we go back to No Way Out '98 and we have a look and see. So North America came calling and said, "Fuck you, Vega." But at least Zelina Vega was at ringside, and she's extremely lovely to look at, so that's always a good thing. Cody Rhodes and the Jey Uso are the new tag team champions. A damning indictment of the tag team division that the two singles guys beat two singles guys that were put together. So.
Who won it from two singles guys? Sammy and Kevin.
I was going to say.
Like two singles guys who were put together randomly beat two singles guys who were randomly put together into a faction of 4 random singles people. So yeah, there's singles all around in the tag team division. Congratulations. Also, Cody Rhodes, sorry mate, we don't want to put you anywhere near the world title for a while. So here, have the tag team championships. So.
Yeah. Well, and that I mean that's one of the things because I know you said it was a predictable card game. If we talk about predictions, I predicted that they would win the tag team belts. You didn't. You said they wouldn't. I also predicted that LA Knight and John Cena would win. You thought the Bloodline would win.
Oh dear.
For a predictable card, there was a couple of results.
Shave that beard, sunshine, or if you call that a beard, obviously.
And I said before, people, Anton cuts his head. Aeron
cut my head now. It's not even a hair.
Sorry. Anton cuts his hair. Sorry.
Wait, leave the beheadings to the Arabs. Right?
Anton cuts his hair. Aeron shaves his beard, and I'll basically pierce my ears, and I'm good. I keep telling you, I'll pierce my ears.
He's dying to get those ears pierced. He's like, "Come on, hurry up and take this back, because if I lose, that's cool. I can't finally get my ears pierced. I've been waiting for."
And the thing is with Aeron, people, what you don't realize, his beard's very big. So even if he shaves it off, with what, a couple of weeks, it's back already, isn't it? It's back to half the size anyway. So
they should put this in the Smithsonian. Look at this, glorious. Absolutely good. The one.
Do you treat it? Do you like shampoo it? Do you?
Yeah.
Do you have the old small comb for it as well?
Yeah, I take pride in my appearance to a certain degree, depending on where I am, obviously. Depends who I'm working for, but yeah, no, I look after my beard. Yeah, you're more than welcome to come over and stroke it if you want, mate. No worries.
So what you're saying basically is that if WWE says to you, look, Aeron, we want to make you our head tech guy, but you got to shave the beard off. Is it coming off?
Yeah, of course, because they're going to pay fair money, innit? So I don't.
Anton, you hear that? He has a price.
Of course, I fucking have a price.
I think you're gonna say, "Nah, mate, I don't have a price. The beard stays on my
head." You lot in the West have had a price. It's called Nick and all our royals. I don't know what you're fucking going on about. I keep chatting shit, fam, but I'm sure you.
One person. Well, Megan.
You enjoy driving a car? You're welcome. Omega can suck my dick. What is he being? He's not a star. Overall, Fast Lane, any good, boys? What do you reckon? Your final sort of grading for it, any good? Worth a watch or not?
Yeah,
Nah.
I'd watch it for the two.
No.
I'd watch it for the 2 tag matches.
I like Anton's like, yes, I think it would be. All I hear in the background is no.
Gabe don't like nothing. Gabe's the cranky old man that don't like nothing.
No. When you ask me,
rubbish.
When you ask me, is it worth a watch? Basically, am I going to say like every match near enough is worth
Not the
watching
whole
again?
card.
No.
But I'd watch the tag. I'd watch the Jey Uso Cody Rhodes tag. And even the LA Knight John Cena. But they were the matches I was looking forward to. I thought they delivered. Like they were worth a watch. And and I'd say watch you'll enjoy Asuka and Sky and Charlotte. I mean, what I did watch of it, and I watched quite a bit of it, but I didn't watch it sort of as intently as I did sort of the first couple of matches. It's worth I'd say it's worth a while. I wouldn't say the whole card was like awesome and didn't expect it to be, but wasn't trash either.
To be fair, what I would do is tomorrow on the way to work, I'm going to give the triple threat match, the women's triple threat match.
Yeah, look at him trying to score some points
now.
Trying to redeem his sexism.
You have to remember, I don't watch something because people tell me to watch it. I watch it because I want to watch it.
That's exactly what you're doing there. You're doing it because Aeron's made you feel bad about not watching that match.
Believe me, not at all.
I'm going to do tomorrow.
Not at all. No, I'm saying I will watch it.
I don't do what you tell me to do. I don't do it because you say I should. Because
I'm going to watch it.
I don't like it because you say I should like it, but I'm going to watch it tomorrow.
No, I will watch it. So at least I can say, no, I've watched it. Not because Aeron said, your Gabe don't like women's wrestling. I like women's wrestling.
Okay.
I just didn't care. Again, sorry, people.
Don't lie to the audience, do you?
No.
What's your favourite women's match?
Say again?
What's your favourite women's match?
Tori versus Ivory in, what's it called? The hardcore match back in 1989, where Ivory burnt Tori's back with the iron. Go on.
With the iron.
Go on, mate. Go on.
1989.
You was going to say, mate, it was a match. I gave you a match.
I gave you a match. When you say Tori who?
Original Tori, Tori, with that used to be
Kane.
He wrestled in 89.
It was 99.
Oh, 99. I said 89. I was like,
no. So it was 99. I think it was around October, November.
Ivory versus Tori in 99 is your favorite women's match of all time. That shows you know fuck all about women's wrestling.
Oh no, I know quite a lot, but you know me, I like to stick. I like to stick with what's old.
Come on, like Asuka versus Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania 34 is incredible, though.
Better than Tori versus Ivory.
Better than that.
I don't think so.
That's the upper echelon of
someone's being a shithead, and I can.
People watch it. Ivory versus Tori hardcore match. It's out there.
I will watch it tonight. Fuck you.
Go ahead.
Right, Raw last night saw the reunion of DIY. Anyone give a shit?
It's not just women he snores over.
Yeah, he just hates her. He's so angry. I thought I was having a shit day. This time, thunder in him.
Anton, go on, Anton. Talk about how great it is.
It's Master Champion Johnny Gargano.
I wouldn't have seen a lot of their stuff. Yeah, I wouldn't have seen a lot of their stuff from NXT, but I mean, it's good. Yeah, it's good for them.
I think, like I said, I personally haven't seen a lot of their stuff from NXT, but from what people keep telling me, Gargano, Ciampa, they're supposed to be this great wrestling. I think it's like what you said earlier. It's for and I hate saying this, it's for the smart tech fans.
Yeah, absolutely.
It literally is for them. It's for them, and nothing against them. But my thing is, okay, you've seen them. Now, basically, tell you smart fans, tell WWE, put them on TV every week, support them in their merchandise, support them basically at the conventions. To be honest, if you're going to support them properly. Don't complain. Oh, they're never there. You watch them once, they're there, and that's it. And okay, I know Honky Tonk Man's record's gone now, so Gunther has it, so it's fine. But
told you, didn't I? I told you he'd take you. You're like, no, Honky Tonk Man will keep it forever. Honky Tonk Man was shit, bro.
I know, but still, I love him.
It was amazing. Like he was shit, but he was amazing. Like he's one of those guys, and also the original Shoot guy. So you gotta love that. But yeah, you knew it was gonna happen.
To be fair, I'll be honest, people. I kept thinking Honky Tonk Man will come back literally on that last day of the record, say about he would try to be the 2-time Intercontinental Champion. Gunther beats him, beats the records. I thought they might do something like that just to tie it in, but It is what it is. But again, it's all right.
Yeah, it is what it is. Something for the smarks. Like, yeah, sure. The NXT fans will probably love it. Nobody else cares. John Cena says that every time he looks at Solo Sikoa, he's reminded of Umaga. Is he correct, would you say, in that estimation? Or is he just being racist?
Racist.
Racist.
It's weird because
it's not the same to me.
I thought Umaga was actually a good worker.
Umaga was an amazing.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, I thought the gimmick was amazing. I beat the shit out of Jamal, didn't it? Let's be honest. Or...
Yeah.
3-minute warning, to be fair, was okay.
Yeah.
You know what? I like them. I like them.
Obviously, got the harder end of the deal, I think.
Yeah. He passed away in it. He passed away in it, Rosie.
Yeah,
he did as well. Yeah.
For shame.
Yeah, it's fucking tragic, isn't it? Like, it's just, how many of them pass so young. Yeah, it's I mean, I can kind of see the comparison. I mean, it's a bit of an obvious comparison, isn't it? He does the spike, he does the hit.
Yeah, he's taken on quite a few of these traits lately. Yeah,
exactly. He's picked them up. You know, fucking. I mean, Gilbert reminds me of Goldberg. Well, yeah, like, with good reason, mate.
Well, doesn't Umaga's son actually wrestle now? Because apparently he came out of prison. Apparently he's wrestling indies, isn't it? Apparently they're saying. Yeah.
What? Is that Jacob Farr too?
No.
It's not related to Marcus. Well, he's probably part.
Yeah, he's cousins, but no, I think this is about maybe like beginning of the year.
I didn't know Marcus' son was actually wrestling.
I think he started wrestling at the beginning of the year. He came out of prison, and yeah. But again, I can see him basically being in WWE at this point. So
all the talk of the town is tonight NXT because they've decided to just throw every single fucking celebrity they've got at it. You can shake your head, but it's for ratings, isn't it? That's what they're doing it for. It's obvious. However, NXT's ratings are almost at the same level as Dynamite and Collision. Therefore, has this been relatively successful? Using people like, for instance, Becky Lynch is NXT Women's Champion. She's been helping out, a lot of the talent. She defended the title against Tegan Knox on Raw. I love Nixon Newell, obviously, great women's worker over here, but come on, man. That's really scraping the barrel in terms of big opponents in it for that belt. But NXT has been trialing a lot of celebrities. And obviously tonight, John Cena and Paul Heyman will be in the respective corners of Carmelo Hayes and Bron Breakker, which should be an absolute slapper. Bron Breakker, for me, feels like he's ready to go. I think this is that kind of thing of looking at him going, right, excel here and you're on the main roster, basically. Because he's had quite a few. He even defended the NXT title against Dolph Ziggler the Raw after WrestleMania, which is quite cool to be there. That says to me. And also, he does look like a star. A lot of them, you think, these guys are interchangeable. Whereas Bron Breakker, you think, I can legit see you coming into the main roster and I'd like to see him wrestle Gunther. I think that'd be a great opportunity to trial by fire and get in there and start smashing each other around like a couple of lunatics. So people will react well, and he does have the lineage, obviously, of being a relatively famous name in the name Steiner, for better or for worse sometimes. But it is a name that has a bit of prestige in this business, as opposed to Hayes. Like, who the fuck is that? I like Carmelo Hayes, nice guy, but again, it's just like, yeah, you look great on NXT. Get on the main roster, are you going to look so good when you're 5'10" and you stood opposite a fucking, someone like Roman Reigns? Not a chance. Roman Reigns will smash him in 2 seconds, and rightfully so. Get out of here, Gimp. NXT successful, and will either of you be interested in watching what's going down tonight? Apparently, the Undertaker's on it as well.
Well, you know what? Taker's there. I'll give it a watch. I like Taker.
He's going to look very old, though, isn't he? He's going to look like a granddad.
What Taker is it? Is it American Badass Taker? Is it the Dead Man Undertaker? Is it Big Evil?
It doesn't make sense that. Well, I mean, he retired as the Dead Man. He kind of came out in that pandemic era and went, and then fucked off. That was it. No match, nothing. But his last proper match was against Styles, wasn't it? The
Boneyard.
That was like American Badass.
That was American Badass.
It was like a hybrid, yeah.
Yeah, it was like American Badass dress, but he had a lot of dead man kind of attitude to it, which for me was the perfect amalgamation. And that's what he should have been doing when he came back anyway in 2004, instead of just, it was fun to have the nostalgia trip of that. And then they just rinsed it to death and it got boring. We never really got enough of Badass to really find it boring for me.
Personally, I enjoyed it. I thought American Badass
I've gone on record as saying I think the American Badass was a better gimmick. It was more entertaining.
Wait, American Badass, I'm trying to remember now. Big Evil was what, 2000? one-ish.
Well, I love them all in the same category.
Okay, fair enough.
Not
yeah.
I think that run from Judgment Day 2000 to Survivor Series 2003 is, for me, some of his best work. His best mic work, which is obvious because if you're not going to have a good promo, are you? Although, when he was crucifixing people and shit, that was hot shit. That was
true.
That was the best part of the Dead Man for me, was when he was pure evil and he had the metallic guitar and shit. That was gangster. Like, that was good shit. Really dark stuff. And that's when they were like, yeah, fuck it. You can abduct people and try and rape them. That's fine with us.
Oh, bless.
You know? If you're watching Stephen Barker, a few ideas for you in terms of the old storytelling, you know?
Vinny Roo, people. Vinny Roo, you see?
Exactly. Mini. Okay. We're just going to say that Vince Russo came up with that. He came up with every storyline. What? Every storyline is just his and his alone, is it?
Only the good ones.
Yeah. Kennel from hell, mate. Kennel from hell. Shut your mouth.
You're still talking about it, so it means something.
Yeah, with good reason, because it was the drizzling shiz. The same reason we still talk about Donald Trump as president. Don't mean it was a good idea, is it?
True, it wasn't. But we're still talking about it.
I was gonna say, if you try and defend Trump,
oh no, believe me, I won't. Believe me, I won't.
Yes, you must have some standards. Christ.
Oh, believe me, I do.
Yeah.
ODT,
prepubescent tangerine twat. Fuck that guy, honestly.
No good.
I'm not even liberal and I fucking hate him.
No, he's not good.
Tells you everything you need to know. He's just a fucking mong of the highest order. Yeah, so
I think, go on, sorry.
Good idea by NXT, or do you because at the end of the day, they are cat shit. They're right up AEW's arse now, just NXT.
I mean, it's a good idea for them for the building for the future as well, as like when they get to mix with them. And I think, like at the same time, you do, because they had this thing where they would bring people up from NXT and it's like no one has any real, sometimes they didn't give you the backstory to them. So I think if they make NXT a bit more of a big deal, that people pay more attention, they can reference it more.
I think it's good for
when they come up as bigger. Yeah.
It means that, like, Raw and SmackDown, if you start feeling that things are stagnant, cool. There's a few NXT guys who can merge in a little bit. And you can have Bron Breakker come in and mix it up a little bit in the IC title district or the US title, whatever it might be, So there are talents definitely there. For instance, Tiffany Stratton already feels like a megastar. Like, she already feels like she can go. She's had this great rivalry with Becky Lynch. She looks the part. She's powerful. She's athletic. But she's also fucking got a bit of a Barbie doll appeal, which is great for mainstream TV. She's really captured the essence. And also, people are saying, like, oh, why do they keep doing it? If you go back and watch OVW, admittedly didn't have as high profile a TV personality, but OVW used to have like Kane and Batista and all these different people, even when they were bigger stars, they would always come down and help out. Mark Henry would, Big Show would. Benoit, exactly. Loads of them. And if you watch, even the documentary talks about that. And it's that thing of actually how you, as a wrestler, anyone can tell you when you get in the business, how do you grow unless you, challenge people who are far ahead of you? Iron sharpens iron.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's kind of why they're doing it. And it's paying dividends because more people are watching NXT than ever before. So it makes their third brand look more legitimate as well.
Can I just say something? I apologize. I know both of you are going to crap on me for this.
Here we go.
As somebody who's a legit journalist and works with media, do you realize how bad the numbers actually are?
I mean, what, in terms of like,
viewership, it's not good at all. The viewership numbers aren't.
They're not great. But it's also that thing of they're relative to the current success of pro wrestling. So 800,000 people watching NXT is actually good in this day and age. Is it good compared to everything? Of course not. Like, we all know that because 10 million people are watching Raw. So anything by the original standards is going to be much more. But then, as much as I don't agree with that dynamic of, ratings don't matter as much anymore, I don't agree with that. They do still matter. But at the same time, look at the standard of what was presented on TV, say, 20 years ago to now. The options, the way that TV is delivered to you, the technology involved is astonishing. More people watch, like, think of it, hundreds of millions of people watch TV series on Netflix. They will, never get those kind of ratings on actual cable television. Never happening. Because it's just different. People want convenience more than they do live broadcasting.
I think No, I think I agree with you. Again, media's changed and how you watch it's changed. But I think compared to 20 years ago, there's so many more smart fans that we know of than there was before. And from what I was told, and from what I can see, NXT was basically made for the smart fans. So to me, it's like, okay, where are these smart? Again, it sounds rude, and I'm not being rude to the smart fans out there, but where are you? They must be more than 800,000. They must be like 5, 6, 7, 10 million.
No,
out there.
I don't think there is. I don't think there is. I think the smart fans are the biggest niche in wrestling. They're
fair enough.
Yeah, I think the biggest problem is that what we've now got is so smart fans weren't that prominent back in the Attitude Era because they didn't have platforms to be prominent, whereas they do now. Any silly cunt can go on fucking line and, you know, even we're fucking doing it, but we work in the business. So I feel like we have some level of credibility to what we say. But, you know, fucking, I don't know, Albert, who lives in his mum's basement in Minnesota, who weighs 400 pounds and has diabetes, like, you know, I don't give a shit if you go, oh, fucking, you know, Charlotte Flair's tits. Shut up, Albert. Nobody fucking cares about your opinion. But the problem is that you never heard from Albert back in 98, 99 during the Attitude Era. You do now. Shut up, Albert.
Where did Albert come from?
The shit name. Wait, you calling your kids Albert? No, I didn't think so.
I was going to say,
Keith's another wrestling fan. You can imagine a Keith chatting shit. By the way, Keith, what a shit name that is. What a shit name Keith is.
Hey, man, Keith Sweat. The singer Keith Sweat in there. Come on.
Who?
Keith. Okay, never mind.
You say, shut up. Nobody called Keith has ever been a success. Get out of here.
Keith Sweat, man. Keith Sweat was a big deal back in the 90s. And
you won't be welcome back at Rumble, Aaron.
Keith Sweat. Keith Sweat's a big deal.
Indulge me. Keith what? Who is it?
He's an R&B singer. He's back in the day I called him a slow jump singer. Basically, he's big like Joe. He's, how do you say? Do you know Lou Vandross, Howard Hewitt? Big guys from the 80s.
Oh yeah, I know those guys because they're actual legends. Yeah.
Okay, he's what you call a lesser version of them. He's a lesser version of them, but he's good.
I didn't think so, mate. Also, what do you mean I won't be welcome back at Rumble? I'm not welcome there in the first place.
Well, I'd watch my back. That's all. There's a Keith.
Well, Keith ain't gonna do shit, is he? Come on. What's he gonna do? Run on?
Watch your back. Watch your back.
Yeah.
Anton, if we hear about a car exploding, we know it's for Aeron. You know it's for him.
Wow, that's a bit racist, don't you think? Oh, I see. Our guy's car has to explode first. I get it. That's cool.
Well, I'm getting shot. Anton's getting mugged. So I mean.
I can't imagine Keith would blow up someone's car. But I'm sorry, but even Keith knows it's a rubbish. That's why everyone calls him Lurch, innit? Come on. But I will say this: he's the only Keith that I would happily chat to. Everyone else could fuck off.
Even Lee?
Hey?
Even old Mr. Lee? Keith Lee? Okay, never mind. You never know.
Tell me, how's he doing?
He's got me EM, so I thought people like him more.
Yeah, and that's the biggest win he'll ever get in his.
I know.
Yo, she is thick. Well done, sir. But you know, fucking come on, man. Like that's why they didn't push him in it because his name's Keith. It's what it is, mate. Keith and Lee. Come on.
Oh, Bruce Lee, Brendan Lee.
Yeah, but that's their second name, so that's okay. But can you imagine if Keith Lee, the martial arts megastar? Nah, not happening. Not happening. Oh, the star of the upcoming Crow movie, Keith Lee. Fuck off. Get out of here. Rubbish name.
You know, I'm trying to think of a boxer.
Jim Cornette's WrestleMania test. Remember?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Keith Lee, main event in WrestleMania.
Let me introduce myself.
John Cena, Roman Reigns, Keith. Fuck off. Terrible name. Sort your shit out.
Well, technically, we have someone called Cody, and Cody's a bit So
yeah, but he's also got the value of his second name, hasn't it?
Yeah.
You don't think the Rhodes name has any value in wrestling?
No, Rhodes has a value, but Cody to me is a Nandy Pandy name. Even when I was a kid, like Cody, what you're a Nandy Pandy guy?
Mate, their world champion's called Seth. That's
true.
Like Cody's plus Cody. It's a very all-American appeal, isn't it, Cody? It's not for Brits. How many Brits do you know called Cody?
Cody no. He's a footballer. Never mind. Never mind. I'm going to say Conor McDaniel's there with a footballer.
Yeah, exactly. Anton's been very quiet this whole time. I think he's sitting there wondering if he's ever going to have a son called Keith.
or Cody.
Yeah, it is. But bottom line is NXT tonight. I reckon it's going to be good. I'm looking forward to actually watching.
I will watch this.
I'll never go. Yeah,
I usually keep up with like just watch the clips like on YouTube and certain ones. But I'll probably watch this as an episode.
I'm really excited to see Paul Heyman in the corner. Yeah. I want to see if they can take that further than just a one-time deal. I would love to see that become a more permanent basis, because you got to think Brock Lesnar at some point is going to step away. He obviously isn't available for the product that much these days anyway, because he likes working a smaller sample size, and rightfully so. When you're a mega star and you've been in the business for that long, you can do whatever you fucking please. But and also, like, you know, we wouldn't like Brock Lesnar as much if he was on Raw every week, would we? Let's be real. We'd all get pissed off of it.
I'm of the belief that we shouldn't have it's like Edge, like since they've signed him, or Adam Copeland, and they made a big point saying I'm going to be on every show and all that. I'm like, I don't think that's what we should have. I don't think you should be. It's like that's when it like a badge of honor. I don't think that's a good thing. I think it's a negative when you overexpose everybody, and someone like Lesnar, someone like Edge. So yeah, I don't think you should. I would think wrestling would be much better if they. Obviously, you can talk about them, but let's not put them in a match every single week.
I believe in cycle balance. You know.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, but not
season off.
Well, not even necessarily in that way, but it's like maybe let a couple of weeks go by before they have their next match. You know, maybe show a vignette, maybe have an interview. Sometimes leave them off for a whole week. It's not the end of the world.
You have to remember, Anton. The AEW fans, they want to see him every week. They want to see him wrestle. So.
I know, but then it'll just become like it'll just be matches for the sake of matches. They won't feel special. And I feel like wrestling should feel special. You should look forward to the big fight. Sometimes, you know, like a certain match, like I want to look forward to that match, but it's like, yeah, but you're not going to look forward to this match. It's not going to feel like a big deal if you see him all the time. And I think people saying, yeah, like Lesnar's part-time or whoever's part-time because you don't see him every week. It's like, you don't want to see him every week. I think most, like, the wrestlers should be part-time in a sense. You got enough wrestlers. Let's make everyone part-time, and then we're still.
How impactful is Brock Lesnar as if he wrestles every week? You wouldn't give a shit.
Yeah,
you would not give a shit.
Special.
Yeah. Plus,
nobody does. John Cena. Yeah, John Cena did a good job of still. I think that's.
I just feel like the value.
I think it's a credit to John Cena that he. Sorry,
Sorry, mate. I think we got a delay on my thing, which is
I think so.
Just making it even more fucking difficult. But yeah, no. My point is that Brock Lesnar shouldn't be wrestling anyone but stars anyway. So if you put him in the ring with, say, I don't know, this week on Raw, Brock Lesnar versus Akira Tozawa, get the fuck out of here. I ain't watching that.
Well, you might watch it for the entertainment of how like what ridiculous movie he's going to do to him or something like that, just to kill him for the sake of killing him, like he used to come out and kill Miz or someone on Miz TV.
Yeah, that's fair. That's absolutely fair.
Can I just put out a vote for AEW, and I don't want to put it out there? Can we put a vote for Goldberg to come in to squash MJF and beating for AEW World Title?
No.
Okay. Anton?
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't want. I'd be happy to see Goldberg, but I don't want. I don't think that's the right move for him to come and squash MJF.
Put heat on Goldberg, innit? Put heat on Goldberg.
How about Goldberg retires Sting by kicking him in the head? How about that?
Calm down, man.
You know what? I'm fucking bored of Sting. I'm bored of it. He's wrestling in a t-shirt, bruv. Behave.
Listen, when Sting's gone, you'll be sitting there saying, "Oh man, I wish Sting was there." Believe me.
What are you talking about? I've been watching him for 30 plus years.
Then leave Sting for the fans who haven't seen for 30 years.
I don't watch AEW anyway. So
not even do I, but still, when I do watch it, at least I can say, okay, I've got Sting, I've got Edge, there's Jericho, hopefully Goldberg.
Hopefully Goldberg. Hopefully Goldberg, the world champion.
Yeah.
Nobody gives a shit at this point, because if they did, they'd all be tuning in, wouldn't they, and watching Sting on Dynamite, and they're not.
Well, the thing is, they put Sting with old Darby Allin.
Darby Allin.
Well, I'm going to say old Darby Man. Skinny man Darby Allin. Basically, he's supposed to be their Jeff. I'm going to say, did you see the match that he had with Christian?
Where Edge debuted?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the only reason I watched it is because somebody said Edge debuted. I was like, cool, I'll watch that then.
I've said for years that, to me, I always said Christian was always better than Edge. I've always said that personally. I like Edge.
I will say right now, Christian is easily the best thing in AEW. easily.
By far.
Not easily. He's making a mockery of it. He's mugging off MJF at this point.
Yeah. You know what it is for me? He was my guy, but I think when he cursed off, was it Luke Perry's son and everything, talked about how he would take on everything. I was like, mate, you got me ready. As soon as you start going to families, I'm good.
The only problem is he's still got the albatross of that gimp dinosaur. That is a fucking pointless gimmick.
You know what? Again, Aaron, you watch indie wrestling much more than me. At the time, before Luchasaurus even came in, was he a big deal? Because a lot of people are saying that apparently he was.
No, he fucking wasn't. Behave. Like,
yeah, they also saying he was. So I was like, fair enough.
But in what sample size? Like, this is the biggest problem with AEW. WWE are very selective about who they see as an indie darling who can make money. And if you look at all the people that they've plucked who are indie darlings, so Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins, you know, these are, even Finn Balor, these have all had very good or relative success in a mainstream platform. Whereas AEW are like bringing every indie wrestler, even if they've wrestled in front of like 100 people. Because that's basically what's happened there. Because the Dark Order is a fucking joke. Like, you know, Chuck Taylor, for instance, because he had a relative amount of popularity in PWG and because he's best mates with Excrement on commentary, he gets a job. I don't care that your friends shouldn't get a job unless they're talented. Not just because they're your friends. It's pathetic, is what it is. And that's exactly why the overwhelming majority of the AEW roster are a joke or are not taken seriously as professional wrestlers because they're just a bunch of indie marks. You know what? Like, tell me that, you know, Chuck Taylor, for instance, deserves a spot in AEW over someone like a Tate Mayfair's. Like, Tate Mayfair's is infinitely better than that piece of shit. Infinitely better.
You're a promoter, Anton. Go on. You're the promoter. So.
I'm biased. Yeah, I mean, I like Tate Mayfair's. I normally probably will skip a
Chuck Taylor match. Even if you're not biased, I think anyone with a brain can see that Tate Mayfair's is a better wrestler.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Like, I don't think it's even close, and that's what insults me about AEW is the fact that they're like, oh, we grabbed this guy from Effie's Big Gay Brunch who wrestled in front of 100 people in a cage, and I'm like, great. I work with some of the best wrestlers in the world. And they would absolutely wipe the floor with half of these fucking marks who are flipping around. Absolutely wipe the floor with them. Look at their women's division. Like, Sky Smithson can walk in there and slap them all about like little bitches.
Yeah.
Like, they haven't got shit on them. Like Nightshade. There's so many women over here who could absolutely rinse that division. And instead they're like, oh yeah, but this person, you know, won the women's tag team titles in WWE for like 2 weeks on Raw. And nobody gives a fucking shit. Invest in people who really care about the craft. Invest in people who really can work as well. Instead of just being like, oh, this guy's got a bit of buzz because he shoved a finger up somebody else's asshole in DDT in Japan. What do you fucking do? That's not fucking wrestling, is it? Swimming around in it. Like, DDT had a match. I watched this thing. It was fucking, because
on the train.
And they had a match in a swimming pool.
Ugh.
Like, they had a match where they were playing football with an elephant. Like, yeah, I love elephants, man. That's why, you know why? That's why I went on fucking safari to go and see him. I didn't want to go to AEW to go and watch elephants, did I? Like, this is the problem. Like, this isn't mainstream. This isn't in any way entertaining. If you're a casual person who doesn't watch wrestling but happens to scroll upon it and you see a guy in jeans throwing Chris Jericho, whose body looks like a decrepit cheese grater at this point, sees him throwing him into a vat of orange juice, you go, what the fuck is this gay shit? Because that's exactly what it is. It's shit.
I agree with you, Aaron, but it was people like Anton that said, give this guy a chance. Remember, Anton? You said give him a chance.
Did I give him? I never said give him a chance.
You said give him a chance.
You can give anyone a chance.
Yeah, you're.
But you know what?
Look, all right, I'm the guy.
They earn their chance by being good in the first place.
Aaron, I can admit and say I'm the guy who usually say, give people chances. And Anton will contest to that. I would say give people chances. But I think the problem, and only my opinion, people, so if you're going to hate on anybody, hate on me. I don't mind. My opinion with AEW, like you said, they just give it to anybody. But the problem is, for a lot of the guys that come in, maybe it is a lot of smart wrestlers. Like, you have to watch PWG, you have to watch this, watch that. I haven't watched wrestling for years, I admit. What was it back in the day? Is it Chikara? I remember about Chikara and all this little. I saw maybe like 1 or 2 matches of that briefly, and I remember reading in Power Slam and everything. I'm like, okay, yeah, fine, whatever. So maybe it's like you said, you have to be in that circle to get like who's a new guy at the moment, Anton? I was say Aeron as well. Like, who's a new young kid that they're trying to put with Christian? So his mum used to be a porn star.
Nick Wayne.
Yeah. With Nick Wayne.
His dad was a wrestler, Buddy Wayne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I've seen him like have 2 matches. I think he wrestled in Progress once or something. Like, but it's that thing of like, right. So you bring in these guys, right? I remember who was the guy who beat Jericho? Action, whatever his name, Action Andre.
Andre, yeah.
Like, what the like? Nobody had seen him. Nobody knew who he was. Not even these hardcore smarks, right, on AEW who know everybody. Everyone's a star. You just don't understand it. They didn't fucking know who he was. Otherwise, they would have popped for him when he came out. This is whereas they actually had access to someone who has a relative amount of mainstream appeal, admittedly in a different country, in Okada. The one guy probably has mainstream appeal in Japan that has some crossover appeal. And what they do, have him come out in jeans and a t-shirt as a run-in. And yet, you know, Action Andre gets the debut and then beat Chris Jericho, and then he gets this run. And of course, within 3 or 4 weeks, the flavor of the month. This is the thing. Flavor of the month mentality is how AEW runs its entire, because Tony Khan is a fucking retard. That's why. Because what he does is he sees something, oh, shiny. He's a magpie. He sees something shiny. He gets excited. He picks it up. He goes, look at the shiny. And all the fucking retards go, ooh, shiny for 2 weeks. And then they go, where's the next shiny on board now? So he has to find something else. Adam Copeland, right? Huge pop when he comes out. Rated R superstar. And by the way, one of my favorite wrestlers of all time and one of my favorite people of all time. And I hope he makes hit loads of money and does fuck all because he deserves it. But it's that thing of immediately the following week, less of a pop. Nobody cares remotely as much as they did. And also, you spunked on Wrestle Dream. What the fuck is that? Apparently, it's the Antonio Inoki tribute show. Great. You've got
nothing to do with him. Nothing to do with him. No, Anton, did you watch Anton?
Yeah.
How is it a tribute when you haven't got a single prominent Japanese wrestler?
Yeah.
You didn't explain the history of how he essentially regrafted the IWGP Heavyweight Championship, how he fucking merged so many different brands, how he brought so many things involved like AJPW and stuff like that. Nothing. Just bollocks so that you can claim that you give a shit when in actual fact you just want an excuse to put another show on because you've got access to infinite money and no brain cells. Tony Khan is honestly the worst booker in the history of this business. Find me a worse one.
You know what? I was gonna go Dixie Hagen. Everyone knows I like to give Dixie Carter some sort of credit for at least keeping TNA going for a while. But
was she booking though? Was she?
Actually, no, she wasn't. She was on it. Didn't so
no, she brought Russo in to do that, and he just fucking.
No. It wasn't him. It wasn't him. It was Jeff Jarrett. It was
really
Russo.
The whole thing. So when she actually actively kicked out Jeff Jarrett and brought in Vince Russo, again, that didn't happen in your book then.
Know your history, mate. It was that Vince Russo was writing, Jeff Jarrett was the booker. And then when Hogan and Bischoff came, Bischoff and Hogan was booking with Jeremy Borash. Jeremy Borash? Borash. And Vince Russo was the writer.
Basically what you're saying is Russo had no say in any storylines whatsoever.
He was the writer. Only the writer.
And the writers are what provide all of the content that you see on TV for the most part.
True. And then you have people like Hogan and Jeff Jarrett and Jim Cornette and everything who read over it.
I was fucking it up well before they came in.
But what I'm saying, you have these guys, you have Jeff Jarrett on top for ages.
Mate, Vince Russo, right? He's not going to pay you a retainer, bro, right? I hate to break it to you. He ain't going to marry you. He ain't going to pay you a retainer. You ain't going to be a guest on his podcast, man.
I don't want to.
You don't want to be on his podcast?
No. What I'm saying, see, the thing is, one thing about me, Aeron.
Vince Russo so good. How come nobody ever watched Impact?
Many people watch Impact. What it was, look, AJ Styles, mate. You know AJ Styles because of Vince Russo.
Behave. We know AJ.
Go on. Before
AJ Styles was predominantly booked to be successful, while Vince Russo wasn't there.
When did you first? Okay, I hate to go through this, but short and sweet.
Sure, why not?
When did you hear of AJ Styles? And if you tell me, Okay, fine.
2002.
And in 2002,
When
who
he
was booking
wrestled
him?
Jerry Lynn.
Who was booking him?
Jeff Jarrett.
Who was writing the storylines?
Oh, I'm sorry. So the booking argument only works when it suits you. You asked me.
I'm a journalist.
Did
mate.
you not just tell me? Oh no, Vince Russo. No, he was just writing stuff. It's Jeff Jarrett that books it. So who gets what? So Vince Russo gets credit when it suits, basically, is what he's saying.
No. What I'm saying.
Sounds like it.
No. When Vince Russo was booking,
I'll take it. Vince Russo is responsible for Jerry Lynn having his great comeback as well. Like he's responsible for Jerry Lynn, is he? Christopher Daniels. Like, did he book the Samoa Joe rivalry with Christopher Daniels and AJ Styles?
Ooh. You disappeared for a second. You disappeared.
It's been problematic for a few weeks now, to be fair.
Oh no! Well, I know the 2005 run you're talking about. You're talking about that run.
Yeah, the 5-star match. Like.
Okay, I know he was right at the time. He was right.
The rise of Samoa Joe.
Well, he was writing storylines at the time.
When he came in,
yeah,
right, he was like, Samoa Joe. How about we tattoo a dick on the side of your face?
No. That was years later.
That didn't happen. That didn't happen, did it?
No, it did happen. It did. But we're talking about 2005 when he came in destroying all the X divisions and everything.
Yeah, Vince Russo beat him. No hand in booking that whatsoever.
Mate, when he had the tribal dick on his face, basically what he was literally he was basically coming as a killer, destroying Scott Steiner, Booker T, killing Sharmell, Kevin Nash.
Killing Sharmell, really?
Okay.
That's what we're hanging our hat on, is it?
Mate, in you know what? In WCW, basically when Scott Steiner kidnapped Goldberg's wife, that was a big storyline. The rating for that was what, 2.7? That's a big storyline.
Remembers that at all?
I remember that. That's why I said it.
For you,
Anton, do you remember that, Anton?
I remember my mum's rice pudding. Doesn't mean it was fucking sold in supermarkets around the world, does it? Ludicrous comparison. Should have been, but it wasn't. Ludicrous, man. About the only thing she was good at making, to be honest, but that's neither here nor there. Yeah, like it's that. I just don't understand where this. Like, don't get me wrong. I've even said on this podcast so many times now, it feels like a broken record. Vince Russo contributed some great stuff to professional. But you are one of those people, you're like Ostrich Man. That's what I'm going to start calling you. Ostrich Man. Just as soon as Vince Russo's mentioned, head in the sand, mate. What? No, he didn't do any of that. Nah.
No. You know what it is? You know what it is? Anton knows, but ready.
Is it your dad or something? Is it your dad?
If it was my dad, I won't be here, mate. If it was my dad.
I was say, is there some sort of Dudley Boys thing going on there? Because
the thing with Vince Russo is, like I said, when he was writing wrestling, it was successful. And the thing is, people can't knock it. It was successful.
But not always.
Not always, but you see when it was WCW, I do think, yes, there was parts of it that weren't good, but there were a large parts of WCW when he was writing it. It was good.
It was terrible.
Okay, but are you saying that because it was on a decline before then, or are you saying just because when he came, if you just judge it when he came?
Prominent decline and lost its most money under the Vince Russo reign.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. Even Bischoff admitted that they lost their most money when he was there.
$63 million they lost once Vince Russo came in that year.
Remember he was only there for what, 6-7 months? They said in 2000 what his loss was it 50 mil, 60 mil, something like that? That's what they said in 1 year. But they said that from 98 to endish 99, 140, 150 million.
They lost. Their biggest loss was $63 million in 2000, which was under Vince Russo.
Okay, Vince Russo played a part of it. But what I'm saying, Bischoff was there.
So he didn't just play a part; he was the prominent part.
Okay, but Bischoff was there as well.
He booked predominantly all storylines in 2000.
But we have to remember, and again, I feel like we're basically Vince Russo show, and I'll kind of end on this bit.
Tell me about it.
Is that
not coming on? You didn't realise that.
No. Anton, not even back me up here because you don't say nothing's fine. What I'm saying that Vince Russo tried his best basically to make Bret Hart. He tried his best basically to build up Benoit, build the low guys and everything, and he did. He did do well. And then for whatever reason, what was it? Was it April? So when they had that whole rebranding thing, like you said, he couldn't get back. You know.
But even before, I mean, the thing is, I've always said, like, I think like it did feel like he was the first one to sort of say Bret Hart should be a main event guy, and he was right.
And he did.
And Goldberg should be like, face of the company, and he did sort of look like he was putting those pieces together, and he was like Benoit,
Jeff Jarrett,
Benoit up. I feel like he was doing the right things there, but then you could also say within a couple of months he did the stupid Starcade finish with Bret and Goldberg, and it's like that was not needed. and then it fell off a cliff then because then they started a new NWO, and then everyone started getting injured. He left.
He's also the man who stripped all belts.
Yeah, and that new one. But I mean, that could have been something that could have worked. Something radical, something dramatic, like a whole new restart. But then it just became
literally came out in Colorado and said to your fans, all those title reigns you see don't mean shit. Get rid of them.
I know, but it's something. It was something like. I get what you're saying, like from a traditionalist sort of point of view, it's like, yeah, like why are you taking the stop and ending the title reigns? But at the same time, it's like it's something so dramatic that it could have been like the spark that got them back. If they'd have then come up,
new blood, right? Like, so you had like the old guys, and you had the new. And
that's the Millionaires Club, yeah.
I thought it was a good storyline.
Which had fucking terrible. Behave yourself. And also Shane Douglas was prominent in it, mate. Behave yourself. I
thought Shane was good. Yeah, I thought Shane was good.
I'll defend Shane Douglas.
Stage like the marquee is. Shane Douglas was trash.
Mate, Shane Douglas was basically Triple H before he became
Douglas ain't been prominent since he did the whole thing with the ECW belt. Everything else is just him bitching his whole career because Ric Flair was always a bigger star than he was, and he just cried about it because he was everyone remembers old Douglas Dean coming out with his big old fucking sweater vest on and shit like that. Teach us, Shane, shut up, mate. You're an absolute mark for yourself. Honestly, another fine example of the ECW vessel. Those geezers were doing fucking meth in the locker room. I'm not taking them seriously in the history of wrestling. He literally had his one prominent moment, incredible promo for what it was, and changing the Eastern Championship Wrestling belt to ECW. And that's all anyone remembers of Shane Douglas. No one remembers. Oh, and also, by the way, his match with Hugh Morris at WCW Sin. Oh, baby. Now watch that and tell me how great Shane Douglas was in that era.
He was peeled up at the time, so we can
say he peeled up his whole career.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying
was coked to the bin.
Mate, Shawn Michaels was coked up. Kevin Nash was coked up. A lot of these guys.
Yeah, those are stars, though. Those are stars who work like stars.
But what I'm saying,
Kevin Nash, I'm not having that either. Kevin Nash can get in the bin. Diesel, lowest fucking state of it. Honestly, his quads are worth about as much as a digestive biscuit, mate. It's terrible.
He made money though. Made money, as you said.
Anyway, getting back to the news, of which there obviously isn't much because we're fucking raging. The other thing I was going to say about NXT is that they've also got really good prominent matches in the mid-card as well. You've got Asuka versus Roxanne Perez, which is a great opportunity for her. And they've also got Gallus versus British Strong Style, which is very fucking cool for, again, a little bit niche because it's more catered towards the British wrestling product. But I do have it on good authority that we might be getting an announcement sooner rather than later about NXT delving back into Europe. So,
is it true that Ospreay signed with them, or was that just a hoax?
I'm not entirely sure. A lot of people I've spoken to have said he has, which begs the question: will he work in WWE? Yeah or no?
How mad is that though? This is why I say, forgive me, AEW. You guys are a bunch of idiots. You had this guy literally the palm of your hands, had him at All In, had him at New Japan shows and everything, just like Jade. And you just going, whoop.
He's the one guy that you thought, you're going to throw all this money at, I don't know, like Jay White or Juice Robinson, Bullet Club Gold, the Gunn family, whoever it might be. But Will Ospreay ain't getting a payday. Really?
All right, question. Again, I've seen him wrestle. Again, I'm not saying he's not good. He's good, but I don't think his style is for me. But again, it's more, okay, he's British.
Style is very much more catered towards AEW than it is WWE.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, which is why I'm stunned that AEW weren't like, well, fuck it, we'll stick him on there. Like, because he can have matches with Vikingo and El Flippy McTastico and all that shit. Like, I find it mind-blowing if it is the case that he's gone to WWE. I spoke to a couple of people who were close to Will shows this weekend, and both of them said that very much the feeling is that if he is going, because they believe he is, it's a case of he's got to strike now while the iron's hot and give it a go. And it's that thing of he doesn't necessarily think he's going to be WWE champion or whatever. Like, I'm sure he wants to be. But he feels like it's now or never, because you give it a couple more years, his body might not hold up. So, you know what? Go and get your coin, mate, and enjoy yourself. As far as I'm concerned, I've got no problem with anyone getting money, whether it be at AEW, NJPW, wherever. I do worry that he will struggle to make a serious impact in WWE, in my opinion.
You know what? I have to agree as well. I think it sounds bad. I hate to say it again. We've all had fights with lads, so we know again height and size doesn't necessarily mean it. But for some reason, WWE, if again, from what I remember seeing him live, and he is small.
To his credit, he's a lot more jacked than he used to be. So he's got a bit of build to him. And he's not short by any means, but he's short by WWE standards, and that's the big problem here. Like, for me, he looks like great NXT champion who will probably struggle to do anything other than maybe win tag titles on the main roster.
Yeah. You know, I think for me,
might be a good addition to the Brawling Brutes.
Say again, sorry.
Might be a good addition to the Brawling Brutes. We all turned our nose up at being Butch, but then look at he's done really good shit as Butch. And the other thing as well is he ain't going to be called Will Ospreay.
You don't think so?
No, it'd be called Bill Eagle or something, wouldn't he?
I was going to say Bill Duffy or something like that. Yeah. Well, to be fair, don't you think that basically he would kind of sign that deal basically, okay, you know, my name's copyright, you know, bring me in as Will Ospreay. Because again, Vince is owning that, TKO's owning it, aren't it? So don't you think they're going to try to capitalize on his name?
I think you're putting TKO are now in charge, but they're not paying attention to that stuff as much. I don't think TKO are going to go, hang about Will Ospreay, make sure he's called Will Ospreay. They don't give a fuck about that. They don't.
Fair enough.
I mean, they should, but
I'm trying to be positive. I'm trying to be positive myself.
He does have some name value with them. But then, you know, look at Rex Steiner,
innit? Well, I guess Will Ospreay's claim to fame is at 80,000, 76,000, 72, 61.
Ask his tattoo what the number is.
Oh, bless him.
What a mistake on a maker. A little piece of advice, mate. Give it a couple of weeks before you get it.
What do you think it was?
What, the actual attendance?
Yeah, I admit from what I saw,
it's 72,000 apparently. Yeah. That's the authentic number of people that are in there. And like we said on the podcast, unfortunately you guys haven't been available for a while. We did a podcast about it. Tony Khan fucking lied. And then when he gets called out, he's like, I wasn't saying exactly. Oh no, that's just how many tickets were sold. I was like, shut up, man. You came out and said you broke the record. You haven't broken the record. You're full of shit. Suck it up. Except that you lied. That you came out and told people a wrong figure. You tried to manipulate the figures too. Nobody's saying WWE doesn't do that. They're a fucking nightmare for it. The worst in the world. So you know what? You have to own up to it. You can't be going out there constantly on press conference saying, yeah, we don't inflate our numbers. By the way, we did exactly that for Wembley. It's not the record. Suck it up, champ.
I'll be honest. You see, even when it's at 80,000, people, I've been there for football. And I've been there when it's been 90,000. And it looked, again, you've been at Aeron as well. It's packed.
Yeah.
From what I saw, from what was actually happening, people was on the pitch, if you want to put it that way. People was on the pitch. And there was sections basically that were all kind of blacked out where people weren't saying. I was thinking, is it 80,000? Because when I think it was a Nigel McGuinness, so 80,000, I was like, really? I was like, I'm not sure. But if they're saying 80, maybe so. But looking, I was thinking maybe 75, something like that. But again, if they said 72, what it was, fair enough. But even that number's still good. I wouldn't knock it. Yeah, that number's still good.
It's not a success. It's just
it's a success.
It's like when WWE have they announced was it the Texas one when they said they had 100,000 and they had something like 72,000. Still fucking impressive. You got 72,000 people to watch your fucking niche sport. Like, just celebrate it for what it is.
What was the biggest show? And because I know you and Anton probably know better than me. Was it the WWE Korean one? Was it 100,000 for that, Anton?
Collision Korea. Yeah.
Was that legit 100,000?
Yeah, it was over 100.
The problem is they were frog marched in.
Yeah, that's what they say. It's a political thing. It wasn't.
But the thing is do you know what? I mean, call me a dictator. I'm happy to be called one. I don't care. But it's that thing of, you know what? It's still 140,000. I don't give a shit if they're in there at gunpoint. It's still 140,000. Suck it up. Like, Korea once again leading the way. North Korea, obviously. South Korea, fucking whatever you lot are doing. You know? It's that thing. The fact is, it's a record. I love how Dave Meltzer. Yeah, but that doesn't count because they were forced to. Yeah, it still counts, mate. Suck it up.
No, again, we're all saying, people, it's not good. We're all saying it's not good.
Yeah,
I mean, the thing is
good. Nobody's advocating for North Korea on it. Well, I mean, I don't know. Some ideas are pretty decent. But, the bottom line is that, hey, the statues are pretty banging. You got to give them that. Massive.
Yeah.
Very impressive.
Yeah.
Like, reminds me of old Egypt, with our big old tombs. I appreciate that shit. But,
noses.
Yeah, take notes, Egypt. Take notes. But yeah, the bottom line is it's bullshit. It was bullshit. And when they were called out upon it, they also the AEW fans who are so hysterically tribal. It's unreal. It's like, yeah, well, still fucking more than you get. Like, these are the same people who slag off Impact for only drawing 2,000 or 3,000 for shows. Like, Impact's coming over here, by the way, at the end of this month. Awesome.
How bad is that though when you think about it? When Impact was TNA, for the guys who big on ratings, they was getting like 1.3, 1.4, was it 1.5 was when Hogan, apparently when Hogan was there. That's not okay.
I think they
10 years ago.
1.8 for one of those ones that went up. Yeah.
That's nuts. And to think that again, part of me is kind of glad they're still around because I watched them when they first came. So I'm kind of glad to see them kind of grow up. But it's sad. It's like you're 22, is it 22 years or 21 years? And it's like virtually
100,000 people watch Impact now.
And you know what? People can cuss me. I'm going to say it. I don't think Alex Shelley's a big deal. I like Chris Sabin back 15 years ago. I'm not a fan of Sabin no more. Moose.
Yeah, no, I don't think he should be champion.
No,
I think they were on someone Josh Alexander being champion. Obviously, he had to relinquish because he was injured. But then look at their roster. Who realistically has enough star power to carry the company?
Yeah.
Josh is good, but and obviously he's been a guest on the podcast. So I'm going to put him over. But I mean, what, are you going to bring Bully Ray back in at 55 to get it or something?
Probably. Well, technically he's there now. I know they're trying to.
No, Tommy Dreamer's there though. I mean,
isn't he like what is it? Was it the digital champ or something like that?
God knows. I don't care, if I'm being honest.
People, it's news. It's news.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you who should have it, Nick Aldis.
What I'm going to say? Isn't he a producer now in WWE?
Has he gone? Is he gone to WWE?
Yeah, he's a producer now.
How is he not wrestling?
Again, supposedly it's that issue with him and Bruce Pritchard for some reason. I don't know what. I don't know whether it's true or not.
I'm sorry, I don't care. Nick Aldis walks through your door. He looks like a star. He dresses like a star. There's not that. Do you know what? Answer this for me. How much of a difference is there in terms of perception and how they look and how they behave between Cody Rhodes and Nick Aldis? Not much for me.
No.
Cody Rhodes is a megastar. And Nick Aldis does exactly the same things, can cut just as good promos, dresses properly, looks like a star.
It's the accent.
Yeah, probably.
It's the accent. Also, maybe it's that, because again, I know I've never seen a podcast where he talks about his attitude at one point. He can, because I think on the podcast we all know John Ritchie from Dropkicks. Yeah. And again, John Ritchie said it many times. I'm not saying anything that's bad. He said basically he's an arsehole. And he trained him. And it's just back when he first started. And I know Nick Aldis basically says, look, when I was in TNA, there's parts of times I was a bit of a dick. So he's even admit himself. But my thing is, look, like you said, you have Vince McMahon who hated Bret Hart. You had the Ultimate Warrior thing. You had the Macho Man thing for years. And they still put them Hall of Fame, still put them back. I'm like, Bruce, I'm a fan of you, but why do I care that you don't like Nick Aldis?
I don't give a fuck what Bruce Pritchard. Because Bruce Pritchard, by the way, has had some fucking terrible ideas in wrestling. He's another one who just
good character though. It's a good character. I like.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But it's that thing of like Bruce Pritchard should not have a say in whether somebody's prominent or not. In my opinion, like absolutely fucking not. Like, because he's a gimp. He's an absolute, and he's a yes man. Like yes men don't get fucking results. They just don't. That's why WWE's ratings are going. All mainstream wrestling is sucking ass. Let's be honest. Apart from NXT, which is on the up. That's why you should watch NXT tonight. Not much else to report, really. Brian Pillman Jr. allegedly will be debuting very, very soon. I don't know if you've seen, they've been doing vignettes for him in NXT. So that's obviously very good for him. Hopefully he can recapture a bit of the magic that his dad had. The Dyad, do you know the Dyad at all? That is Schism. The Grizzled Young Veterans. Zach Gibson and James Drake. British wrestlers. Great guys. Great guys. Really hot indie property over here. Apparently are going to be free agents very soon. So good news for us. We'll hopefully get them back. They can be on our shows because they're fucking phenomenal, those two. Absolutely wasted in NXT. Fast Lane set records, apparently. It's been, let's have a look. In a press release unveiled on Monday, WWE announced that this year's edition of Fast Lane was both the highest grossing and most viewed Fast Lane in the 8-year history. Do we look into that much? Because ultimately, Fast Lane has always been such a mediocre pay-per-view anyway.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit, personally. I think that's just them trying to basically show off. Look, we've got something else that AEW doesn't. A successful Fast Lane pay-per-view. Great. Just call it hard shoulder and call it a day. Has anyone seen NWA President Billy Corgan's new introduction of a territory?
Yeah, I saw that.
So this is very interesting. So Exodus Pro is now NWA Exodus Pro and will be officially recognized and will be represented with NWA champions. I think the aim game here is to get any prominent independent promotions that are running in America, get them under the NWA banner and kind of redo what NWA was actually very good at doing, taking areas like the Mid-South and stuff like that and creating little innovative things. Does it have a formula for success? Do you think like it could potentially bring NWA up a level at least, if not, because I don't think they're going to challenge, obviously, but will it bring them up to a point where, they could theoretically have as much credibility as, say, Impact or something like
that? Yeah, I can see that happening. I mean, that gives them a little bit more, rather than them having to run their own shows. Because they have a TV show, don't they?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that gives them opportunities to use like footage and stuff like that to make it feel like more of a regular, like, full-time promotion. So I suppose from that aspect, it could bring them up a level. But like you said, they're not going to get in the sort of the conversation with WWE anytime soon, or get back to the old days.
What it does do is help reaffirm grassroots wrestling, which is independent wrestling.
Yeah, and gives you that variety
a little bit, which means it's got a little bit more luster to it, which means that wrestlers still feel the need to come through there instead of just go straight into the mainstream system and probably just die of death. Like so,
gives you a platform, and it's a TV. It's like at the same time they've made an. Because I've seen some of the old NWA Power. Watch some of those like on YouTube, and it's like again it's very retro, but it's like at the same time they've gone for a purpose there. And it is a platform, isn't it? I mean, even like LA Knight, Eli Drake.
I was going to say, Eli Drake, very
there.
Got him recognised,
Tyrus.
Yeah.
Guys like Damien Sandow, I think he's called Aaron Stevens on there, like he regained a bit of his luster going back to there. There's a number of people, Zicky Dice did very well there as the television champion. Another former guest, by the way. Lovely guy as well, to be fair. There's also, it's definitely catered towards the old Southern wrestling. But in a way, I quite like it. It's quite it's quite reminiscent. It's very good gives you that waft of nostalgia, because we all love a bit of nostalgia. We do, and the product is relatively decent, to be fair.
I agree.
Actually, what I watched of it, I really enjoyed. They put a real emphasis on entertaining people with promos and then having really rock solid, good fundamental wrestling matches in between, which was the basis of what made NWA so special. Yeah, and also if you go back and watch, like when Tony Schiavone was interviewing Ric Flair or Dusty Rhodes or Four Horsemen, whoever it might be. There was a real luster to that. If you go back and watch those, they feel like real golden age wrestling, and that's what I like, the fact that they're willing to keep that alive but bring it into the new age. So and credit to Billy Corgan for actually respecting our business a bit and not being a fucking giant mark like Tony Khan. Like, he actually gives a shit. So credibility as far as I'm concerned. Good idea. Be interesting to see whether they can amalgamate it so you can watch it all on like one network for one price. That's quite cool. Bring all those indie shows, get all their products, stick them on there. It'd be awesome. Never know. It'd be very cool if they came over here and made a little NWA UK territory. There's a few promotions out here that probably would benefit from something like that.
True.
And
you think it could happen though, from the UK perspective? Sorry.
What's that, mate?
Do you think? Sorry, I said from the UK perspective. Do you think they would kind of join up with the NWA if they,
I think like if they came.
It's happened before. They did it with Hammerlock.
Oh yeah, no, Hammerlock,
NWA UK Hammerlock. Yeah,
and I don't see. There's a lot of promotions now that are very solid, and very respectable. Someone like obviously I don't see Stephen Barker doing it, but Rumble I think would be very cool under the NWA banner. There's a lot of guys who would really suit that NWA style of wrestling.
True.
someone like Hakan, for instance, would have a better spotlight to be a better heel in front of a decent, audience. And I think that'd be quite, and also is that potential of, hey, we can put your stuff on. If they start their own little YouTube channel network and it's like, hey, all of your stuff will be on our thing, just £5 a month, you can watch not only NWA Power, but you can watch all the NWA affiliates on it as well. All of a sudden, for that niche variety of indie fans, it creates a really good, I'd rather watch that than say just be subscribed to Red Pro or Progress on Demand. Nothing wrong with those companies, but it feels very kind of one-dimensional. It's like, watch this or fuck off. Where's the value of it? Where's the value of me watching it? You want variety. You want a broad spectrum of things to look at. So yeah, I think it's good business. I do. I hope that it will grow and the idea will catch on with people. FTR jobbing out to Big Bill and Ricky Starks and losing the takeover.
I laughed. I was like, Edges, fine, Edges. So basically, to me, Big Bill is basically a mixture of Edge and Test. That's why I call Edges. Edges basically won his first titles. So I was kind of happy with that. The Rock Jr., don't really care about him.
Ricky Starks is good.
It's surprising. I care more about Big Bill than I do fake Rock. But no, Ricky Starks is good. But I think I was surprised because I thought, nothing against Big Bill and Ricky Starks, but it's like what you said before. The old cliche of two singles guys should not be able to go, more Anton's cliche, two singles guys, no matter how big they are, shouldn't be able to go into a tag team match with tag team specialists and just beat them. Like I used to always joke back in the day, Undertaker, Stone Cold tags up, they're beating the New Age Outlaws, or if Rock and Austin or Rock and Jericho tags up, boom, tag team champs. But Anton kindly reminds me that it actually doesn't make sense because, they're two single guys are great, but as tag team guys, it shouldn't be the same. Is that what you saying, Anton?
Yeah, just that a tag team, the actual cohesion that you've got should be able to overcome. You could have the two best singles wrestlers, but they haven't got that unit and your teamwork. The Shield did a good example of it. It felt like it didn't matter what three top. They could have John Cena, Ryback, Randy Orton, whoever. They could mix them up. Big Show. It's like that unit would always conquer for a while. It's like it didn't matter what three people they put there because they were a team and they knew how to use their teamwork and they just had that unit. And that's what tag team wrestling is supposed to be. It's like, whoever versus Dax Harwood versus MJF shouldn't be able to, you'd expect MJF would win that as an example, but put FTR together, you shouldn't be able, MJF and Adam Cole shouldn't really necessarily be able to beat them two because they've got years of experience and ability. If you go, look at the Legion of Doom, to use a bit an older one, Road Warriors. Again, you'd have these two top singles guys, but the Road Warriors are two badasses and put them together, their team works, they're going to beat any two singles guys. That's how it should be. That's how you'd expect it to be. A tag team, it's supposed to be a different art form, and it's you shouldn't be able to just do whatever. The tagging in and out, the knowing how to, they always said about cutting the ring off and all these kind of things are things that two singles guys wouldn't have that chemistry in. It's not normally going to happen. You need to really work on that. Whereas this tag team is specialized in it, and they can work to that advantage. And they've got their teamwork and they've got everything down. So in theory, it's 2-on-1 when they get the tag and stuff like that, and that should be able to beat two singles guys. Obviously, once in a while, two singles guys could win, but it's they shouldn't be it doesn't matter because Stone Cold and whoever's the best, they're going to beat every tag team. Just put them together, they'll beat all the tag teams, and tag teams are not, or Triple H or whoever. And that's how they kind of played it for years.
Yeah.
Whereas back in the day, you would feel two random singles guys weren't going to beat the original Demolition, or it's these guys are gonna, or the Road Warriors, they're not gonna be able to just beat them. Just put two random singles guys together to take them out.
What do you think, Aeron? What's your
I thought it was garbage. Typical AEW. Oh, we've got the best tag team in the world. So we've got the Lucha Brothers, who are an authentic tag team. The Young Bucks, who I don't like, but are an authentic tag team. We have a multitude of them. We have the Guns. We have the Acclaimed. We have the House of Black. But what we really need is the geezer with too much fake tan, who admittedly does look like a single star, and the giant guy who can cut a promo to save his life with the little rapist guy, allegedly. So, it's just this thing of yes, I'm happy that Big Bill has been able to, get over a lot of mental health demons and stuff like that. And by the way, he's in amazing shape. So credit to him. Use him properly then. Make him a fucking monster. Have him fucking murdering people on this roster. I'm a big cunt. I'm going to squash you because you're a little bitch. Not, hey, smaller guy who is pretty entertaining. Want to be a tag team randomly. Why? What's the point? It devalues what tag team wrestling is. The Business are a great fucking tag team. So I'll tell you what he would do. We're going to grab Shenwu from Rumble, and then we're going to pop over here to Wrestling Society, and we're going to grab James Ellis for no reason. And you two, you can take on the Business and beat them in every tag team format. Why? It devalues the whole kayfabe mentality of, like Anton said, a good tag team should always be able to beat two singles guys. And we're not talking about a good tag team. We're talking about arguably one of the best in the world in the last 20 years.
Yeah. I think the only saving grace for them, I think, is the fact that they played it coming in, they were injured. Yeah. Because they had the match with Aussie Open and
there was a legitimate injury as well, wasn't there?
Yeah, and they put Cash Wheeler through a table. So it really was almost like Dax is on his own and he's just being like this big monster.
He should have pulled a gun on him, didn't he?
Oh yeah.
Yo, you read the fucking dirt sheets, bitch. Fucking have that.
He could have done it from the table after he's been put through the table. Dax is about to get pinned. Get a long distance shot. No, don't give him ideas.
Yeah.
they might come up with that.
Everything in this company is a big nod to Meltzer and shit. Well, fucking do the good shit. Pull a gun on him. Do the real shit, innit? That would have been jokes. I would have lost my shit for that. But nah, instead we have fucking Arn Anderson putting guns. Like, what the fuck, man? Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And don't act like it hasn't been done before. Brian Pillman, Stone Cold, and it was an absolute worldie at the time. Got the fucking wrestling world talking. Yeah, stupid. Absolutely stupid. But why would I expect anything less from a company that's made it very clear they don't have a fucking clue how to book anything, much less tag team wrestling, which is a joke.
I'm going to put it out there because I know, we're coming to the end and everything. Tony Khan, as a guy who used to actually work for you, so I used to work for Fulham Football Club. I did my coaching badges, so thank you for that. Please hire Aeron Nix to be on your booking team. Pay him a good 400,000, $500,000. Give me 10%.
I'll take 10 grand at this point.
No, you fool! Don't say that. Don't say that. Don't do that.
This is the negotiations. This is the negotiations. He's getting you a deal. He's your agent.
Hey, I can be homeless in a month. So I'm like, just anything. Buy me a house for starters. That'll do.
Buy him a house. Give him 400K. Give me 10% of that, and I'm good. But on a serious note, look. Again, you have to always have your 10%. As a black man, 10% always.
Obviously.
On a serious note, though, I wish they had someone like you that was there, or someone like Anton who actually knows the business kind of in and out. But you know what it is? Unfortunately, they have Arn Anderson, they have Dean Malenko. I think it's before Anton. You have Dean Malenko. You have all these guys that's there. Maybe it's just that thing where it's like, okay, you know what? Remember, I watched you guys. In his mind, thinking, okay, I watched you in WWE. I appreciate it and everything, but I'm taking what I like and I'm doing this. I hear what you're saying, but this is what it is. And it's like, well, what can I do? Because look, you have Arn, you have Dean Malenko, you have all these Billy Gunn, and you still listen to them?
The biggest problem here is that the reason I'm fired up about it is because I want it to be good.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be shit. I don't hate AEW. I hate how AEW is produced. That's a big difference. I want AEW to be successful. I love so many wrestlers. Some of my friends work at AEW. I want them to be successful. I want them to do well. I do not want to see this shit. It's not good for business, and it shows because your ratings keep going. The ratings haven't picked up just because Adam Copeland's turned up.
What you have to remember, even though I'm not signed with AEW, maybe their wrestling's not for us. Like I said, maybe because remember, the AEW fans already said, this is our show, this is our wrestling. So maybe, again, they're just booking it for the smart fans, and that's it. They throw Edge. They throw Adam Copeland, they throw the odd Jericho, the odd Sting, whoever, for the people like us, man. Okay, yeah, we get them in. Then once we're in, watch a little bit, okay, now we're off again. They throw the CM Punk.
The most niche wrestling fan is always due to failure. And also, you're only catering to the niche fans who are super woke and like the flippy shit.
And has money. And he has money as well. Has money.
That's the other frustrating thing is you've got all the money in the world. You have all the people around you to do it properly, and you're not. And that is mind-blowing to me. It's so frustrating more than anything. And I honestly lament and loathe Tony Khan's business mentality towards wrestling because it is basically, I used to play wrestling with my toys when I was a kid, and now I'm just doing my fantasy booking in real life because I've got all the money in the world. Great. But it doesn't help our business. It doesn't improve it. It doesn't improve the overall spectrum of how people view wrestling. It doesn't improve the credibility of what we are trying to present as a sport. Yes, we know it's not fucking real, but the whole point is making it feel real. That's the whole point of wrestling, and has been since the dawn of time, making marks believe what we do is somewhat real. And they're like, yeah, but they all know that it's not real now, so we may as well just make it look as fake as fucking possible. No, absolutely fucking not. Like the circus, right? Magicians don't come out and go, just so you know, before I do this card trick, well, hey, there you go, see that? It's underneath the sleeve. They don't do that. They don't do that. Don't fucking expose something that for 100 years has been the mainstay of entertainment for people in Middle America or the United Kingdom or wherever. And that's what he does. He exposes it and he embarrasses it and he makes it look cheap and nasty by using cheap and nasty people. And
one thing I will say, because again, I'm not agreeing with, I'm actually agreeing with Aeron.
That was that good, baby.
Dave Meltzer is this guy's chief of staff. He's this guy's basically sideman with the Young Bucks and everything. So, like you said, the Young Bucks have their idea of, non-stop. So he likes that sort of stuff. So again, he's catering really to him and Dave Meltzer. And even I have to admit, I have read a lot of Dave Meltzer's, stuff back in the day, and let's do podcasts.
He's the man, isn't he? He's the guy.
But I never always agreed with him. I heard him. I took certain bits, but I never said, okay, this guy knows everything. No. But I think, like you said, he's catered specifically to Dave Meltzer and everything. And also he's listened to the guy. And again, not in a bad way. Who's he going to listen to? Also Dave Meltzer. Dave. If Dave says it's good, I don't know how Brian Alvarez, forgive me, I don't know how Brian Alvarez has now become relevant.
Oh,
again,
right.
Anton, Aeron, you guys will be watching the indies, longer than me in that sense. Was Brian Alvarez ever a big deal on the indie scene? I don't remember him being a big deal.
Nah. Brian Alvarez, for me, is most famous for going on Twitter and winding people up by posting ratings all the time. That's all he does.
Yeah, that's anonymous.
I think it's that thing of, I get it. Of course, Tony Khan's not going to listen to Aeron Nix. He's not. That's fine. I'm not arrogant enough to think I have enough cachet in his business that he will ever listen to someone like me. But at the same time, it's concerning that you have Arn Hansen, Dean Malenko, Taz, Big Show, Mark Henry, whoever it might be, and you don't listen to any of those people. That's terrifying to me.
But then what would you do if you was them? You're making what? $750 million, $1 million a year?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Like, well, okay.
The thing is as well, how much are they, to be fair, and I will give Tony Khan credit here, like how realistically do you think they're pushing him that much and saying you need to do it this way, you need to do it? Nah. They're just like, paycheck, baby. And good for them. Like, if I was fucking 55, 60 and didn't really have any discernible working skills other than murdering people with a suplex, I'd happily collect $750,000 to basically stand there and look cool, shiny. That's fine by me. It's just disappointing. It's like, well, okay, great. And the problem is he's got infinite money. But at some point, I do believe it might be 10 years from now, but at some point, somebody's going to come in and say, where the fuck is all this money going? Because my mate told me the other day they're making money. I find that hard to believe.
No, there's no way he's making money.
No way you're making money. They would have made a whopping chunk of change from Wembley, but then that needs to be offset against all of the talent. And think how
rent's expensive though. Wembley's expensive.
Oh, I'd love to know how much their billing is for talent. Like how much they pay wrestlers per year, all in. I bet it's fucking astronomical.
I will say this information I was given was maybe about 8% true because I have some links from the garden and everything. I was told the rent for Wembley now apparently is 1.1 million.
What, just for the one day?
Just for the one day.
Like you pay 1.1 million, you have full access to the whole thing.
Yeah.
That's not bad because
that's good.
Because they made about 8 or 9 million from ticket sales.
Yeah. So, and then again, when we was there, remember we saw the merchandise sales. Like the merchandise the merchandise stores were ridiculous long.
Yeah.
Oh.
Did you buy anything, you boys?
They didn't have the Vince Russo shirt.
No. Look, I admit, I kept looking around to see if there's Vince Russo or Goldberg and everything. I was like, okay, they're not there.
Goldberg. Just selling Goldberg.
He was lying to me, telling me there's a hook that rumors Goldberg's going to show up.
That's what I was told. That's what I was told.
That's what he's told, right?
I was all over the data sheets.
That's what I saw. That's okay. For once, I took off the journalist head and I put on the fan head. I said, okay, screw it. Let me just believe that Goldberg's going to show up. But yeah. But I don't know. I do have one bit of news before we all go, because I know.
Yeah, sure.
Now. We never talk about the draft. Again, you probably have talked about it before, Aeron, but I just want to know, like, the draft, the bus flip. So the wrestlers being released. I just want to know your quick reaction.
Ian Rogers sort of covered it briefly, but it was like we basically didn't cover it until about a week afterwards. So, but we can touch on it now.
Yes, I'd like to know what your.
No, absolutely. First of all, like, I don't want to see anyone lose a job. As somebody who's struggling to make income themselves, I know how fucking tough that is. It's not fun. And you want all these better. To be honest, the overwhelming majority of them that are released will have no problem making money elsewhere. Dolph Ziggler is going to make mad bucks if he wants to elsewhere. AEW will probably have him. I find it hard to believe they won't. I reckon they'll be all over Riddle as well, which will be hilarious because all the woke fans, right, in wrestling were like, oh, I hate Matt Riddle and he's a potential rapist and all that. Oh, how quickly they're going to love seeing him on Dynamite. And they're just going to pretend that he all of a sudden doesn't have a rap sheet. But it's that thing of, yeah, it's heartbreaking to see people get released, but this is a business. Yeah. It is a business. And the bottom line is that WWE has also recognized, I genuinely think somebody in WWE has said, someone high up, probably Vince, has recognized AEW are literally hoovering up talent like no one's business. They'll take anything, whatever. Barry, who fucking sweeps the halls of WWE, they'll fucking give him $750,000 if they can. So it's that thing of, they're like, you know what? These people are not going to factor into our ratings or our storylines. Get rid of them. Let AEW hoover them up and pay astronomical wages that we wouldn't even dream of paying them for. They were smart. Like Edge, right? One of my favorites of all time. I don't need to see Edge do anything else. I've seen it all. He's done everything that needs to be done in this business. Multiple-time world champion, main evented multiple WrestleManias. He's good. He's done it all. And it's wonderful that he even came back in the first place. So for me, I'm just sitting there thinking, cool, man. Like you said, I want to go and have fun with Uncle Jay. Please do, man. Because
8 million, apparently. 8 million, apparently.
Is that what he's getting?
Apparently, they're saying it's 8 million. Yeah.
That's
like,
mad.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, good,
8 million just too.
Good for you, Mr. Cope. You lucky bastard. Man, I'm struggling to hold down $8,000 a year. Jesus. But you're sitting there and you think, yeah, it's gutting, but all the people who were released will have no problem getting work elsewhere. And I hate to sound callous and cold. Maybe it's because the system is fucking ruining me at the moment. But at the same time, I think, you know what? Suck it up. Like, it's
just the guy that was complaining.
It's just the way it is. Not everyone's entitled to a job at the biggest company in the world. You have to have discernible skills and you have to have drawing power to be considered for mainstream professional wrestling. And some of these people, for me, had no drawing power, and that's why they got released.
Is it Rick Boogs? I remember he was in like some big old diatribe about Vince McMahon. And something, he is. I don't know who he is.
Yeah, no. He plays the electric guitar.
No, I'm saying. I'm saying when I don't know who he is, basically it's like you do that, but what else are you known for? I don't know anything else. But I know he was basically quite annoyed, quite upset and everything. And like you said, a lot of people say, mate, like the fact that he's making good money, just shut up and go elsewhere.
Isn't that the old catch? It wasn't shut up. Check.
Shut your mouth.
Can't cash it anymore.
Paycheck.
Can't collect it now. He's not getting it.
Yeah. Shut
his mouth. Just shut your mouth. No paycheck.
Yeah. Do not pass go. Do not collect a WWE paycheck. Yeah, gutting that, but at the same time, Matt Cardona tweeted pretty much straight after and said, by the way, I make fucking shit tons on the indies now because I put in the work and there's no reason why you guys can't either. And
maybe that's the issue. Maybe that's the issue. Like we said, they're used to having that WWE bubble of, the caviar, all that glam and, shining light there. If it's okay, we have to go back to sounds bad, even though it's not the case. The dingy pool halls where there's smoke and everything. We're not, maybe a lot of them aren't made for that.
Yeah, some of them won't be able to suck it up and wrestle it. But then that's why I think, to be honest, Matt Riddle, Dolph Ziggler, legit, AEW will have them. They will get them. Like, there's no way. I mean, you could see maybe Ziggler doing a quick run in Impact or something just for no reason.
I think Japan.
Yeah.
Japan. Yeah.
Yeah, like Japan. Yeah, a lot of people said that because he's a worker's worker in it. So Japan, and Japan, to be fair, there is good money on offer. Like, they do pay their biggest talents around $1 million a year, which is very fucking good, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, for any wrestler. Just because, you know, Edge is getting 8 million. I mean, we're not turning down $1 million to work in Japan. I'm certainly not.
Literally, as soon as you said that, the fireworks near there.
I did wonder what you were looking at. But I thought your agent had just gone, yo, haggling for 2.
Literally, the files were saying 1 million. Yep, that's me.
Yeah, 1 million. Yeah. Oh, as soon as we get into 7 figures, Gabe enters the chat, baby. But yeah, it's like I say. Bottom line is, yeah, it's gutting to see people get fired, but at the same time, it is a business. It's just the way that things are. And ultimately, if you work in a business and there's 100 people in your office and they need to make cuts regardless, and you're not as good as, say, 90 other people in the office, yeah, there's a good chance you might get cut.
But I think, especially within most businesses, they usually just cut down the guys at the bottom. The guys on top always stay anyways. The guys
That's very true. Well, exactly. And those guys, none of those people you can sit there and say to me are mainstream stars.
Yeah.
Matt Riddle, potentially. Like, the closest. Dolph Ziggler, come on. When was the last time he had a prominent title run?
NXT?
Prominent.
Yeah, like I said, I'm being polite. I'm being polite.
Exactly. Yeah, don't get me wrong. It was cool. They went down and go at it and stuff. But, you know, when was the last time he, for instance, won, you know, I don't know, the IC title?
Can't remember that.
Exactly. We don't know, do we? So, but I mean, is there anyone there that you're disappointed got released? You know what the biggest disappointment for me was? Aaliyah. I felt like she had all the tools.
You know what? You see, when I heard Leah, I kept thinking of Mysterio's daughter for a split second. I was like, okay, it's not her. Because I was her name.
I remember her getting off with Buddy Murphy. Yeah, that was slightly awkward.
Mate, she was never mind.
Fairly legal, isn't it? Fairly legal. Careful.
Yeah, I know. I thought maybe going to go there. They're going to go there. But again, I think from the little bit I've seen of her, they said apparently she's supposed to be good. From the little bit I've seen of her, she seems decent enough. But
I thought she was great. Like, she had the look as well, which, you know, you can't say about everyone these days. She had like perfect good looks, was a good athlete, decent enough promo. You just think, oh, okay. Like, and in a women's division where it's always good to have a bit of depth, I'm surprised they let her go. But, you know, again, it is a business, and obviously, is she on the level of Asuka or Io Scott? No, absolutely not even close. So, what about you, Anton? Who were you gutted most about being released?
When we was talking about it, it's like that from that perspective. It's not some of them you wouldn't really notice. I think Riddle was probably the only one that you'd notice that you could say was because he had the thing going with Drew McIntyre and stuff like that. A lot of them, like, again, not saying I don't care, but it's like you don't. Yeah, and then even Shelton, like, he didn't really have anything prominent going on. So none of them, like, you would say, oh, they were on TV, they was in such a big position. It's like the people that you almost forget they were there because they weren't doing anything of note. So they haven't really got rid of anybody that, like I said, when me and Gabe talked about it, there's that time when they let Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt go together. That made a big, that felt like, oh God, like 2 prominent stars have let go. This time around, nobody really of any. Dolph Ziggler from being like a stalwart for being there for that long. And but again, like you said, he hasn't done anything sort of significant on TV. So the product's not going to miss him, is my point. So yeah, none of them really stood out to me. When I read them, there's no one that really like shocked me other than thinking, well, Dolph's been with them so long. But then at the same time, you know, that's happened before. They've let people go after they've been with them for like 20 years.
Yeah. I mean, also, you know, let's not forget that overwhelmingly, I mean, Dolph Ziggler, I mean, he got the rub, didn't he? The Rock, John Cena, they all tweeted about it. Right.
Yeah.
That immediately means you're set, you're fine.
I think he's the biggest name of them. Like, him and Riddle are the ones that really feel like, there's going to be a lot of buzz about him if they do, like I said, if they pick him up at AEW or wherever, where he goes, there'll be some talking about him, because although he hasn't been prominent in WWE for a long time, he's still got a lot of like cachet with fans. Like, people still have a sort of reverence for him. So that would mean something.
Yeah. Do you know what? Not everyone can be a star. I always say that.
And a star, to me, stars are supposed to be unique. If everyone's a star, then no one's a star. Exactly. That makes sense. That's what I think personally.
Not everyone can be amazing. And ultimately, some people actually thrive being the enhancement talents or the people who make the stars look good.
We can't say that no more. We live in an equal.
Yeah, see, that's the but that
you can't say that no more. I agree with you, but apparently in today's society, everyone's got to be
absolutely bang on, mate, with your assessment there. Though you are absolutely bang on, because if you say to somebody, "Sorry, not everyone can be a star," like, how dare you? My dream is to be a star. Yeah, well, we've all got dreams.
Yeah.
I want to be a fucking astronaut. Do I look like I'm on Mars right now? No. Like, suck it up. You know, it's just the way it is. Like, you know what? I recognize when I can I wrestle? Yes. Can I wrestle well? No. Which is why I work predominantly as an MC, a commentator, and a videographer. And by the way, one of the better ones in the country, I'd like to think. And it's because I work fucking hard, extremely hard. People don't see it. Antoine has, bless him, he's seen me at work. You have as well. Like, you know, I'm running around like a fucking maniac. Like, you know, not many people have the level of graft for something other than being the actual wrestler in the ring like I do. And I was one who recognized that. I thought, you know what? I struggle. I do. I struggle with the gas tank. I struggle with the physical fitness of it as much. So, yeah, I can go out there and take bumps and things, but I'm not going to deliver a match. The Business, on the other hand, one of the better tag teams in the country. I believe that. I do. I believe that. I believe you should be working everywhere. And the fact that you're not is a joke. But, you know, it's neither here nor there. And by the way, people like Frankie too just can't be asked to book people because they're fucking lazy. This is where Anton has a go at me for being unprofessional. You know, it's he's like, stop it. Great performance, by the way, IWE, mate, fantastic. Setting a real example for everyone else. But yeah, it's that thing of I recognize that I'm not going to be a star. I'd be lucky if I ever main evented even a card in front of 50 people. That's not going to happen. I know that's not going to happen. But I tell you what I can do. I can record all the stars, and I think if you look at the list of every single wrestler I've filmed this year, it's quite impressive. It's quite the list. And the amount of people, and you know what? Yeah, filming them isn't the same as wrestling with them, but you're still working with them.
Yeah.
Matt Raven took a beautiful photo of me pointing the camera at Nina Samuels last night. And Nina Samuels is one of the biggest women's wrestlers this country has. So it's that thing of, you know, if you can't necessarily be the greatest at what you're doing, be the greatest at what you're good at. That's the whole point. Instead of getting upset that somebody said that your dream isn't going to pan out the same way that you thought it was. If anyone could be president, then anyone would be president, wouldn't they? But they can't.
True.
Same with prime ministers, you know, points of, you know, for it being an astronaut, for instance, only 3 or 4 people really realistically get to do that a year.
True.
Because it takes something truly special to be great. It takes a work rate like no other to be the best. And not everyone can be the best, because otherwise best would cease to exist if everyone was the best. There would be no such thing. It would be nice, absolutely. And I absolutely say to people, give it a shot, have a go, see what you can do. But you know what? Always have a backup plan, innit? It's the first thing I was told when I got into wrestling. You got an education, kid? Like, make sure you got an education. They say that to everybody when you start. If you're getting into this business with the goal of, I'm going to be full-time and this is where I'm going to make my money, that's great, but that isn't necessarily what will happen. And, you know, these people, to be fair, have made a big fat living off of wrestling. They're doing better than most. Especially guys like, I think of how much money Dolph Ziggler must have in the bank. I think
a couple mil.
He should be okay anyway. Dolph should be able to retire right now and have a great life. That should be no problem. You know, if he can't, then obviously whatever he was doing with Sable wasn't worth it. That's all I can. Just no. By the way, if you've seen her lately, holy cow, it is. Man, I thought I was having a hard time. It is what it is. The Business. Where can we find your glorious dulcet tones on the podcast?
The Business is on Facebook. Let's Talk Business. You also have Gable Hitman Myers, Mr. Clean, Anton Green, Facebook and Instagram. We are doing more to promote our page and put more stuff up every week. We're putting it up.
Love the photography. The photography mastery is wonderful. There's that lovely photo of you two. So that is a beautiful photo.
Oh, in Austria.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff. I wish. This is why I love guys like Matt Raven. He always takes around. I posted that photo on my socials the other day of me just sat there at Rumble. Like, I didn't even know he'd taken it. And it's that thing of make the memories. They don't last forever, so grab a memory or two. You know, it's this idea that you can't take photos with people you like. So fuck off. Grow up. Like, we're all gonna be dead one day. So get some memories, get them out there. You know,
not soon though, not too soon.
Well, speak for yourself.
Please don't.
Yeah. I mean, I don't personally believe in him, but say a prayer for me. Will you? Fucking hell.
Oh, I will. Don't worry. Who's the Anton? I will do for both of you.
Anton don't need it. He's affluent. Look at him. Yeah, he's living good, and he deserves it. He works hard for his life, so he deserves it. But yeah, check out Let's Talk Business on the podcast. It's genuinely really, really good. They're not just here, by the way, for anyone watching this thinking, oh, they're just guests on it. No, they were a much bigger deal before they came here. Bless them. This is like a charity outlet thing for them. They come over.
Never.
But yeah, they get a care workers allowance working with me, so that's good stuff. But yeah, and obviously subscribe to WrestlePlug at WrestlePlug across all social media. So from the Hitman Gabe Myers, from Mr. Clean Anton Green, and from the Egyptian Com Machine, thank you very much for that nickname, Connor. We will catch you very soon for more content from Let's Talk Business and the WrestlePlug.